Then is we are still carrying on for a new era of ALR Formula One racing. Then apologies, I am slightly late tonight because because I've forgotten how to spell Cobalt again, and also I didn't even know what track we were at either. So absolutely appalling start, isn't it? But what I expect then is gonna be a much better finish than start, which is standard stuff, really, isn't it? But we are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Then this is 14 turns around this circuit, our fourth and final day of action of ALR. It's been cracking, hasn't it? 3 brilliant days and 3 brilliant races as well. Can Cobalt follow up then with a final cracking race, and we'll shall see. But yes, then the Hungarian Grand Prix round 2. We of course had round 2 of bronze last night, didn't we? Of season 3. That was a cracking race, wasn't it? There was action galore, but it was Roscoe which took the victory, and he now leads the Bronze World Championship. Does it? Fantastic stuff there from Roscoe, and I think it was his 24th Grand Prix start as well for bronze. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff indeed, then, but it's very tight at the top of bronze, isn't it? Looking forward to that then, which Ayrton and Emerson there will continue to guide you through the bronze race. Then, of course, remember that on Sunday we'll be back in action for gold as well. We have the Belgian Grand Prix next week as well, the best racetrack in the world. I absolutely love it then, and absolutely mega stuff indeed then. And yes, it was a camera racer, not Roscoe. I gotta say, I'm absolutely appalled. It was Camera Racer's 24th Grand Prix start in bronze, and he won the Grand Prix, not Roscoe. I think Roscoe came second, didn't he? If I'm not very much mistaken. I know he's second in the World Championship. That's all. That's all we need to know. Then it just shows that when I'm not commentating, I have no earthly idea what's going on, do I? Right then. So let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? It is Brooksy who's leading the championship. Then a great race last time out for Brooksy, wasn't it? Fantastic stuff. And Starburst in second position with Jim Straff, driver of the day, and a cracking final podium as well in a third position. Iron Knight in fourth, good stuff indeed. Jose in fifth position in the racing point. You mad bro, had a bit of a difficult race, didn't he? But he finished sixth in the end. We got ZGS in seventh, and Hammer Time is eighth, and Righty in ninth position as well. Only 9 drivers was in the only 9 drivers, of course, scored points last week, as we had a reserve in, didn't we? And that reserve was Scooby Stew, which got a very good 6th position. So well done to Scooby Stew, very impressive stuff indeed. He also raced last night as well, so hopefully he can have a good one tonight. In the constructors standings, Williams are leading, and the early pace setters in the constructors. Alpha Tari are second at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Alpha Tari. Third position is the Racing Point, along with the Renault team as well, both on 18 points apiece. Then Alfa Romeo are around 5th position on 10 points, and then Red Bull and McLaren are 6th and 7th. 2 points for Red Bull, 1 point for McLaren. Mercedes, Ferrari and Haas have not got off the mark yet, but we still got 10 rounds to go. 10 rounds to go for them to get off the mark then. Sam is first. Boki is also first as well, but unfortunately, I think Sam was first according to me comments here. Unfortunately, Boki. Second for Jake Easton, and hello, Jake. Then welcome to the stream. And as goodness me, then is we got a lot of banter going on. Then Farfen has already grilled me. Then as I got it completely wrong last night, and as Sam also said yes, Farf indeed. Then unfortunately, Sam was unlucky last night because he had the pace in qualifying. Didn't he? Fantastic qualifying performance for Sam, but unfortunately, he loaded up a default setup, didn't he? Which is it's very disappointing indeed. Gooner, evening everyone. Good evening, Gooner. We got Silent Shift in. Let's go with a fire and a halo as well. Oh gosh, there. We doing like emojis then that might name that song then. All I know about Halo is wasn't it Beyonce that sung Halo? I think it was, wasn't it? Jakey said, can we cannot see the driver's standings then. That's farce fault. Hopefully, if you can. Of course, unfortunately, I haven't got me Streamlabs open tonight then, because we were just going directly through the PlayStation then. And just take a look then, we got Liam saying, evening land, Theo, hello indeed then. Angelique then, hello Angelique. James Brooks, let's go. Good stuff indeed then. Theo's asking, how am I doing? I am very well, my good sir. How are you then, Theo then as well? It was very good to race Theo last night. Albeit I wasn't racing really, because we was in a queue of, we was in the Sam's Conga line, wasn't we, last night? this is, I got to say, quite good stuff indeed. Then we've just got a bit of a delay then before we get into the start of this qualifying session as well. The quick rules then for anyone who is new to ALR, new to Formula One. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, I hope you all had a lovely day, and it's also a very good, time for me to have a brag and look at my amazing, was it? I don't know. Rank, it might be rank at the top right hand corner. I am now gold, which I got to say, that's a lot of pain, sweat, and a lot of tears, and I'm very happy with that. I got to say, I've never been so happy about that in all my life, but yeah, it doesn't really mean nothing, really, does it? To be honest, let's be honest about it. It means absolutely nothing, but I just like it. It looks nice. Anyway, enough about that. And as Jake saying, I didn't realise who this was. Nice to hear you, Ginger Rage. It's Hammerhead. Then hello, Hammerhead. Then I hope you're well. And he can't wait for this race. As his race said, I can't wait for it either. This should be a cracker lacquer, I think. Then really should be indeed. Then we're just waiting for Ayrton to get a move on. I think that Ayrton there has probably forgotten where to go. Having said that, when I was at Ayrton's shoes for one time when I was in charge of the lobby way back in season 3, I didn't even know how to go either. I thought that the host had a special go button, but I didn't realise that the drivers had to ready up. So yeah, and that's a funny old story which I don't really like to bring up, but I bring up nonetheless anyway because I quite enjoy making a fool of myself. So we got a UK F1 League, F1 Race League. Sorry about that. We got what's that? Warning. I think anyway. We got Vintage saying evening. Oh, hello, Vintage as well. Then yes, we are having a delay then, but we shouldn't be too long. I think we got 2 drivers then that are just. I think they're stuck in traffic. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but they might also be stuck in traffic on this one as well, because it's going to be a bit of a queue. There's only one real overtaken opportunity, isn't it, on this circuit, and that's down into turn 1, which was extended, wasn't it, back in 2003, wasn't it? I think that was also the season where Barry Kellogg had a horrific rear suspension failure, didn't he, in the Ferrari, and that was also the season where Fernando Alonso took his first ever Grand Prix win as well, didn't he? Fantastic race. It was also the race where he lapped Michael Schumacher as well, which is a bit surreal, wasn't it? But yeah, that was a classic one, wasn't it? The Hungarian Grand Prix 2003. It was a weird. I quite like 2003. It's a weird year. 2003 was. Of course, we had Montoya, we had Kimi Räikkönen, the 2 young guns then, young chargers against Michael Schumacher. Absolutely quality stuff it was, wasn't it? I got a DVD, the season review DVD for 2003. Then I used to watch it almost every other weekend. Then, as that was my Sunday. Whatever it was, Sunday habit, I suppose. We got Nuna saying good evening, good afternoon. I take my tea with a tablespoon. Oh goodness me! I usually take 2, but I take 2 big spoons then as well. Is that a tablespoon? I do not know. You can see that my I got no decorum whatsoever, have I? Good gosh, then. We've also got We've got Sam saying, why is it late then? Yes, we got 2 drivers then that are stuck in traffic, unfortunately. Jamie, all right then. Good evening, Vintage. Good evening, Jamie, as well. Jamie, of course, was in the McLaren last night. And he's saying, how was the back of my car looking yesterday then? Who is going to be the spin king then? Hashtag Team Reserves there for Nunda. I got to say, Sam's rear end looked very impressive last night as well. But of course, Sam, as we mentioned, Sam did have some technical gremlins, didn't he? We had technical issues with the session, and unfortunately, Sam didn't load his setup there, unfortunately. As we've now got UK F1 Racing League, then Brooksy for the win then. Of course, Brooksy came out of the blocks fantastically well last week, didn't he? Magnificent stuff indeed. Amazing stuff. And Farf is hashtag ALR, good stuff. Farf, get that stuff trending. Right then, as we're now in the session as well. Only 18 cars ahead. We've got two drivers then that are stuck in the proverbial traffic then, and let's just take a look to see. We've got David Benson making his debut tonight, and so welcome, David Benson. I hope you have a good race tonight. And just looking down the order as well, we've also got Irvine making his debut tonight as well. Good stuff indeed there, and we'll talk more about those 2 drivers in the not too distant future. And how can I forget Codfish as well, who is also making his debut tonight then, and I'm sure he's related to FIFA Beefy, who is the silver driver as well. So that's really cool, that is. And so I think that Farf told me, but unfortunately, when Farf tells me stuff, I'm kind of not listening really. So there we go. He told me, but I'll get that up in a minute. Anunda hashtag Esports said Jamie was vintage Jamie. Jamie was getting smaller as you pulled away. Then Sam hashtag ALR Bronze then or hashtag ALR Cobalt. Laugh out loud then. Good stuff indeed then. Keeping on coming in indeed then. Gaz said of course it's out of qualifying then. But Gaz had a very good session last week, didn't he? Unfortunately, in qualifying, unfortunately didn't do too well in the race, did he? So out of the pits comes David Benson and making his debut tonight. And what a tough race to make your debut on here in the Hungary ring then. This has been on the F1 calendar since 1986, hasn't it? Only 3 wet races as well around here. Back in 2006, 2011 and 2014. Oh goodness! Oh, Farf said it's his son then. Yeah, so Codfish is a FIFA beefy son then. Good stuff indeed then. Thanks Farf. I'm glad he spared my blushes then because that would have been nagging me throughout the whole of the stream really. So yeah, lovely stuff. That's a good job that Farf is on hand here tonight then. Oh, Kaza has really whet my appetite because he's also saying that the track is going to be wet as well, as there is going to be rain at the end of the race then. And I must say there's been no rain at all in the last 3 days out here. It's been absolutely beautiful. It's been picturesque around the Hungary ring. Amazing stuff indeed then. It's David Benson then out on his outlaw at the moment. We're on board with the Mercedes driver and that car looks a bit understeery to me, but we'll leave him to it for now because here is the man who was on pole position in the British Grand Prix, the first ever Cobalt race in ALR history. We have got 19 cars in the session as well. Good stuff indeed there. You man, bro. Then I love the helmet, by the way. That's a fantastic helmet. I've got to say, Diashi was my favourite helmet, but I cannot say that too loud in front of Ayrton because Ayrton is the helmet specialist. But I think that is my new favourite now. Good stuff indeed then. Coming across the line, Matt, you man, bro, is starting us off. And look at the heat haze coming off of the track as well. My goodness me. But yeah, right at the end of the race said, the question is then, how far into the race is it going to come? Is it half distance? Is it 3/4 distance? Is it going to be a problem then for the drivers in terms of their strategy? We'll find out then. I'm really interested in that then. Good stuff. Far from Winnie and Folksy to bottle it there. I think that they were having a good race, weren't they, in British Grand Prix, weren't they? But unfortunately, it didn't go too well, did it? But hopefully it'll get a little better this week. We hope so anyway. So good stuff indeed there. We've also got Kaza saying hello, good evening, Kaza. Thank you for the weather update as well. Nunda saying they grow up so fast, and indeed they do. I remember when I was a young nipper as well back about 20, 30 years ago now. Good gosh there. We've also got Gordo saying, oh, hello Gordo. Vintage free out already. I think that we have got a couple of qualifying bans there. Ayrton did tell me them. Unfortunately, I would have wrote them down as well, but yeah, that's totally unfortunately I don't. Coming across the line then, you mad bro, a 14 straight away, goodness me, and this on a very green track as well. That's very impressive indeed then. Here's David Benson then out of the final turn then. He's not using DRS at the moment, David Benson, isn't it? He's a couple of seconds slower at the moment. Hammer time has gone second fast at the moment. Hopefully I'll say his proper name this year, this week, because I was calling him Hammerhead. And here comes Codfish across the line as well. Codfish a 16.479 as well in the Haas car. In the background we've got one of the Williams cars just coming out of the final turn, and let's see then what he is doing. And I think that's Iron Knight then, who is just starting his lap off. Starburst then is invalidated his time, but he shouldn't be too concerned about that. We're going to keep an eye on Folksy, who's halfway across the lap as well. I love these helmet designs actually from the Cobalt guys. I got to say, collectively, I think they got the best helmet designs there. I got to think that we need a competition for maybe the best league with helmet designs there. Obviously, I ain't going to win there because my helmet is full pink, really, isn't it? But there you go. At least it stands out in the Williams there, as I was doing the old highlights last night, and I got to say, it's a very beautiful helmet. I love my helmet. Out of the final turn, and here comes Folksy coming out to the line. He's done a 17 there for the McLaren team. Good stuff then to start us off. And Starburst then in the middle part of the lap. Then I'm going to keep an eye on Iron Knight then, who is in the middle part of the race as well. Kaz saying good luck everyone from the great white north. Kaz is also saying 45 minutes, and is that until rain, or is that or is that until the race countdown? It might be the race countdown. I think we just seen a Red Bull coming into the pits, and we've got a Haas car just in front of us, and I think that's was that Codfish that going quicker. Well, Iron Knight has gone second fastest in the Williams then. Good stuff indeed there. I've got a real bad cramp in my chest. Oh goodness me. We got Starburst coming out of the final turn now as well then. So here comes Starburst and his first lap time then. He was second in the British Grand Prix. That's a good time to start us off then. AlphaTauri in the background then is just completed a lap then. What about Vinny then? Vinny is now fifth fastest in the Ferrari. Good stuff indeed. Silent Shifting then. This is second Grand Prix of the week for Silent Shifting then. His first Grand Prix was the I think that we're just watching Styles coming across the line, and Styles is just starting his lap now. He is starting his lap then. It would be nice to know where I'm going because I got completely lost there, which is nothing unusual, is there? And then just now watching Silent Shift, and then we got Williams out there as well. But I think it is going to be the Renault. Is it going to be the Renault? I think it might actually be the AlphaTauri that is the furthest one around of Bulky Volcano. It is Bulky Volcano. We're on board Bulky as well. And goodness me, I'm struggling to keep up there. Serious Motion, Bulky and the new guys and girls, and good some indeed that. We've also got Bulky with the big old thumbs up as well. Vintage saying driver today, Josie. He's a solid driver indeed. Hashtag team reserves. Hashtag team Bulky. Ayrton saying good luck, Cobalt. Please be careful then. Of course we did have a lot of DNFs last week, didn't we? But having said that, I loved it, to be fair, because I do love an action-packed Grand Prix, don't I? I don't think the admins do, but luckily I don't do that job. Bulky goes fourth fastest, and 16.3 then for Bulky, who was very quick in qualifying last week, if memory serves me. But it's the race he's struggled on. Silent Shifting has done a 15 then, and Nance, I think he did a 16 in his first qualifying session, didn't he? So he has improved there by almost half a second there, so that's really impressive stuff. Remember, Silent Shifting there returning back to ALR after over a season absence as well. Styles then is down in 11th position at the moment. We got Scooby Stewart there as well. What about Kaz? Kaz is starting us up as well. Brooksy is also starting us up. Let's go. Let's keep an eye on what Brooksy can do then. He is the man who won the first ever Grand Prix of Cobalt, and that is in the history books now, and no one can take that away from him. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Good stuff. We got Camera Racer. Evening, Sean. Good luck all. Good evening, Camera. I must apologise to you because I wrongfully said that it was Roscoe that won last night and not Camera Racer. That was Camera's first Grand Prix win in its 24th start in bronze, so fantastic stuff indeed then. The two most experienced drivers in a bronze history, on the bronze grid last night. I think it was 25 Grand Prix starts for Roscoe. No, 22 Grand Prix starts for Roscoe and 25 for Camera Racer. That I think got first and second, and that just shows about experience, doesn't it? So good stuff indeed there. Bulky's saying, I know, right, vintage race, and Kaz saying, oh, until rain. Thank you, Kaz. 45 minutes till the rain then is there. Oh, good stuff indeed then. So that's quite a distance into the Grand Prix, isn't it? So is that going to affect the strategy? I don't think it will, to be honest, then, but I know absolutely nothing about strategy. I just follow the leader. Brooksy coming across the line. Brooksy goes second fast as well, 2/10 of a second away from you, mad bro. We got Kaz, who's 11th fastest in the Ferrari, and he is less than a 10th of a second away at the moment. And David Benson there is going for a second bite of cherry as well. Irvine there has invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again. Then Scooby Stew is come out of the pits as well, so we're going to be losing two drivers. We've already lost a couple of drivers in this qualifying session. We're going to lose one more, I feel. And as Ayrton has retracted his statement then, oh goodness me, why is Aaron Williams missing? Who needs to be sacked then? To be honest, if any driver needs to be sacked from the Williams team, it's definitely me. But luckily luckily I'm not pulling the wall just now, apart from the qualifying in at Silverstone. I've been saying hoping for points for you, Bulky mate then. Night Boat then, if you're interested in joining ALR or want to, please, or want to refer a friend, please register on our website at ALResports.com as well. I know that I'm going to read them out because that's also a cheeky plug as well then. So yeah, if anyone's interested or you want to be a part of this incredible league, just Go to that website of www.alresports.com then as well. Then I haven't promoted the website in such a long time. Goodness me, I'm slacking a bit. Then here's David Benson just in front of us. And here's Irvine. And this is I love saying Irvine. That makes me feel quite professional. Of course, Eddie Irvine, the Formula One driver from '93, I think it was, wasn't he? And till 2002, he had a good innings in Formula One, almost 10 years, wasn't it? Of course, he finished off his career in the Jaguar team as well. Unfortunately, that Jaguar experience didn't go too well. Then Irvine goes at second fast as well. David Benson is also starting to really pick up some pace as well. Out of qualifying is Cosmo Gaz and Jose. Unfortunately, Scooby Shoo had a very good race, didn't he? In the first Cobalt race, that was also his first ever ALR race as well. Fantastic stuff from Scooby Shoo, and hopefully he can do more of the same. Then Renault would love to see Scooby Shoo having some more pace as well. Bulky Volcano had a purple sector 1 and 2 then, so sector 3 just didn't come together, unfortunately, then for Bulky in a sector 3. Unfortunately, Scooby Stew then in the middle part of the lap as well. 6 minutes to go this first qualifying session. Car 14, which is Scooby Stew then going over the intermediate 2 timing beam now. Yellow flag in sector 2 as well, but I think that's drivers then just dropping off slightly then. And now coming into turn 13 as well for car 14, then Scooby Stew is going to have to wrestle Alonso for that car number if he wants it for next season. But out of the final turn then, let's see what Scooby Stew could do there. Is this going to be enough to get him through? It is indeed then. And Scooby Stew, that should be enough to go through, but we now have 2 Mercedes that are battling it out then, and we're on board then. It's David Benson. He looks like he ran out of fuel then. That fuel light is not flashing, it's solid. I think he might have to come into the pits and get some more fuel for David Benson then. He is not too far behind his teammate then. His Styles has invalidated his time. Also, Folksy is in the pits as well. So we're going to see that who is going to be able to make it through and make it up. Then let's take stock, shall we? We've already lost 3 drivers, and that's Cosmo, Gaz, and Jose. David Benson is currently in the pits at the moment, then, as he is just he's run out of fuel. We've got Styles at the moment in 15th position. Then he has invalidated his time. Then he's at 5 tenths a second away from his teammate at the moment. Styles is, but I think he would like to. He'd probably like to lower that bar slightly, won't he? So he's just coming back into the pits as well. As Vintage saying, Eddie Irvine drove from 93 to 2002, according to Wikipedia. Indeed he did then. Yes, it was almost 10 years then, wasn't it? I think his first race there was with the Jordan team, was it? I think he upset Ayrton Senna, didn't he, in the Japanese Grand Prix by... didn't he unlock himself or something like that? But yeah, so Irvine, I think that was his first or second Grand Prix. And then unfortunately, in his, I think he didn't get banned as well after he was involved in the incident with Martin Brundle and Jos Verstappen in the Brazilian Grand Prix as well in '94. Goodness me! So Eddie Irvine had a bit of a shaky old start, didn't he, in his Formula One career? But yeah, Sarah's West saying that. That Irvine was underrated. I think he very much was underrated, because I think people were comparing him to Michael Schumacher. The quote that I always remember Eddie Irvine saying is that Irvine could drive the car every centimetre, while Schumacher drove the car every millimetre, and that was the difference then between Schumacher and Irvine. And Irvine also said that he was probably just as good as everyone else on the grid, apart from Michael Schumacher, really. And of course, I think it was absolutely that just shows how great Schumacher was in that Ferrari, wasn't it? And of course, Eddie Irvine was very close to winning the 1999 World Championship as well, wasn't he, when Schumacher broke his leg in the 99 British Grand Prix. I think Eddie Irvine only won 4 Grand Prix in the end, did he? Which is not it's not the high. Unfortunately, he was Schumacher's lackey for more often than not in the Ferrari years up until 99, where he really got a golden opportunity then to really as Styles goes 8 fastest to really show what he's made of. Codfish there is going for another run as well then, so oh my goodness me, oh gosh, and Codfish there, wow, great save there from Codfish. My word though, his heart would have been in his mouth though, and good gosh, that was a lucky escape there from Codfish. He's completely demolished all of the polystyrene boards, and he ain't gonna be concerned about that, because luckily his car is not in the wall then, and Codfish is currently free at the moment. But if he would have crashed there, he would have been out of qualifying, unfortunately, because there's no spare cars in Formula One these days, is there? So which is a shame, isn't it? Well, no, it's not a shame really. It's about cutting costs and stuff, isn't it? So just on board now with Dave Benson, and he is about 10th for a second up in the first split time. Then they're on board now with the Mercedes driver. Then let's see what he can do then in the second and in the second section as well, going over the chicane there as well before accelerating away. And as he's going left right now, then there's not to running too far over the curb. Saying David Benson there just keeping a lot of track limits there, isn't he? As he's now over half a second up in the second section, so he's going to get under the 18 second bar. Then I'm wondering then, is he going to I think that folks, he might be looking over his shoulder slightly in the next couple of minutes or so, isn't he? Because Benson is now starting to really put his toe down, isn't he? Out of the final turn then, and Benson goes across line. He's done a 17.9 there, 6/10 of a second quicker then, but he's not using DRS. Is there an issue with Benson's DRS? And the Mercedes car is he's now using it, Benson, but there's some issues then with that. It looks like that I wonder if there is gremlins on that Mercedes head, and if that is the case, then that is going to be losing him an awful amount of lap time then for Benson. That's a big blow indeed on his debut for ALR and for the Mercedes team as well, as he climbs up the hill then going into the very quick kink of turn 4 as well. 1 minute to go in the first qualifying session as well. Folksy is still in the pits then, so he can't defend his position now as well. Benson may have enough time then for another run then as well. Can he get his DRS working then? And if he can, then this is going to get very, very interesting indeed then. Vintage is saying gosh there, you know your stuff, Sean. It's true, honest, I'm just a nerd really, and I think the mid-90s and early 2000s, I've kind of lived and breathed Formula 1. But I got to say, these days I do struggle actually, because it feels like I'm getting old now, because the years kind of start to combine now. Because I struggle to remember the differences between 2017 and 18 and 19 as well, because those years are too similar for me now, aren't they, really? So there we go. I think that's just old age, unfortunately. But yeah, the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, I got to say, I absolutely loved the sport. It was fantastic. It really was indeed that. And of course, when you go back and watch though, I think today's racing is probably slightly better than what it was back then, perhaps. Maybe that's just that might just be like my opinion, but I think that back then the cars just felt monstrous to me. I'm not sure why. If it was just the cameras, they weren't as sturdy, perhaps the cameras were shaking more, so it looked more violent, perhaps. I do not know. And the cars also looked smaller, I think, and much more nimble. I think Benson there is overdriving the car now, isn't he? He has gone very wayward there in turn number 4, unfortunately, as we've been on board with Benson there for the last couple of laps. Unfortunately, I think that he might be out of this first qualifying session, unfortunately, but he does start 16th on the grid then, and without DRS, I think he's done a very good job indeed there, Dave Benson. So good stuff then from the Mercedes debutant here tonight in the Hungarian Grand Prix as well. It's a tough road circuit, this one is, and I think he has done himself very proud indeed there from car 2. Good stuff then from Benson, as he is now just coming back into the pits then, and he'll be 16th on the grid then. He'll be joining the other 3 drivers out qualifying, which are Jose, Gaz and Cosmo, all out qualifying, unfortunately, as Folksy there will be happy to be still in the qualifying session there. Starburst and it's invalidated time, but he is safely through then. Kaza is also coming into the pits as well then. So Starburst then is just cruising back into the pits, and oh gosh, excuse me, oh gosh, goodness me, I was trying not to sneeze there, and yeah. Less said the better. Starburst said coming back into the pits. Right, and that's in the qualifying one then. Of course, that is, we had a good old look at this Hungarian Grand Prix circuit, didn't we? Hasn't changed much over the years at all, apart from, as we mentioned, turn 1 there, and also there was a Mickey Mouse chicane, wasn't there, around the final part of the lap then. Hopefully I'll point it out to you if I don't forget later on this session then, but of course there was a bit of a hop, skip and a jump over there, wasn't it, really? But and then they extended it around the 2005 area, and I think didn't he have he had quite a big smash down there, didn't he? I know that Cleon actually went head over heels, didn't he, in turn 1 in 2005 as well. Both the Red Bulls had a bit of a nightmare start to their Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't they? Unfortunately, I think they went home a bit early as well then. Nuna saying he does his reading as he eats his tea with a spoon then. I usually try and eat my tea with a fork, really. But, there we go. Brooksy there coming into this part of the circuit then, which has been edited over the, I'm sure it's around 2005, wasn't it, where it was edited, then they took out that chicane, and then that was it then, really, wasn't it? To improve overtaking, wasn't it, and to make it a bit more wider. Our qualifying then, in terms of a visual perspective, Cosmo in 19th position there, 18th is Gaz, I was going to say Gaza then, 17th is Jose, and 16th is Benson as well, but Benson had issues with DRS then, so hopefully he can get that fixed for the race coming up in just a jiffy then. So folks are going to be quite happy with that, because he didn't come out for another run, did he? So he was very much putting his fate in the palm of Benson's hands, but unfortunately Benson's car let him down, didn't he? Otherwise I think Folksy would have been on the other side of that relegation bar then. We're going into qualifying 2 in just a few moments time then. Bulky's saying, well, at least I'm in qualifying 2 then. Kaz is saying, notice the helmet, I am second generation Hungarian then. I'll have a look at your helmet in a minute, my good man. Then of course that is the most important part for me. That's the most important part for me, I think, in the world of Formula 1, is having a nice helmet. We've also got Serious Russia. If anyone gets a P11, they're in a good chance with the rain then. That's a very good point indeed, actually, there from Serious Russia. We'll expand on that in just a jiffy. And we've also got Farfair, who's got a nice cool like spanner next to his name then. I wonder why. We've also got Jamie saying hashtag I Instagram as well. So far saying only because I told him Sean then. I think that's in terms of folks then. So Farfar, goodness me, playing with fire. Farf was. Here comes Codfish. He was playing with fire, going out of turn 3. Goodness me. So I'm wondering how he's gonna feel about that then. But perhaps he was probably trying to see what the track limits were out there, and maybe what he can get away with. Now he knows what he can get away with. I think that Codfish will probably not push too hard around turn 3. Having said that, he is on the medium compound tires now, isn't he? We'll keep an eye on for Kaza as well then, because this is technically now his home Grand Prix, isn't it, really? He is second generation Hungarian. It's a good 17th there for Kaza. So we'll keep an eye on the Kaza then, the homegrown hero then. Codfish is the first driver out on circuit. We got Red Bull out there as well, and an AlphaTauri. Oh goodness me, then we're going to have a bit of fisticuffs, I feel, then, in terms of fighting for track position here. This is going to be good, isn't it? We got Farfson. Apparently he was panicking in the party then, as Ayrton has also said that he is a bit of a spanner as well, but of course I do know that Ayrton is very good with his tools, and so that might be the reason why he is a spanner. Out of the final turn then is a Codfish, and let's see what he is made of then, as fine out of the final turn as well. On board then with Codfish, said let's go on a lap, shall you, the Hungarian Grand Prix as well. I think it's a bit unfair on a Codfish, really, as we're going on board with him, because he's on the medium tyres, isn't he, really? But let's see what he can do. Hammer Time is on the soft compound tyre, and Codfish there using DRS, and you get a beep in your ear, don't you, to know when that DRS is activated. Down into turn 2, then it's downhill braking. Do not touch that white curb, then it will spit you out there, spin you around. Codfish into turn 3 as well. Now building up the revs then into turn 4. Hold on to your seat of your pants there through turn 4. Goodness me then. And now into 5, but you do not want to touch that curb either then. You also get spun around as well. Right behind us is Hammer Time now. I wonder if that's going to distract Codfish as he goes into 6 and 7 as well. That chicane is very narrow there. Unfortunately, Hamilton and Rosberg came to blows there in 2015 then. Yellow flag is when the Alfa Romeo's there. It's just backing off into the very twisty middle part of the lap as well. Do not run too wide on the outskirts of turn 11 now. Codfish is well within track limits there. Intermediate 2, a 55, 6 and good 70, breaking down to third gear before getting back on the power as well. Now into 13 as well. Another corner where you do not want to be touching the curb then. Do not run too wide, then a back end. Tried to overtake the front for Codfish, but he controlled it nicely into the final turn as well. Out of the final turn, DRS right on the money, and he does a 17.9 then. Hammer does a 16.1 then. He is on the soft tyre, of course, and we're on a drag race going down into turn 1. Hammer Time is fast, is on the soft tyres then. Brooksy is also on the soft tyres, doing an 18 now for Brooksy. A Williams car is just starting a lap then. Irvine is also on circuit as well. I love saying his name, Irvine. That's really giving me a what's it, nostalgia pop? Yes, that's it. Here's you, mad bro, then, with the best helmet design so far. Having said that, then we got to take a look at Kaz's as well. I cannot forget about that. And now into the into the final turn then. Here's you, man, bro, out of the final turn fast again, and this man is a single up specialist at the moment, also on the soft tires as well. So good stuff indeed then from you, man, bro. That's Iron Knight who's just starting us up then. ZGSN out of turn number 14. Yes, that's about the right number. DRS as well then comes across the line. He's done a 17.7 there on the medium tires. Good stuff indeed then. We have also got Bulky Volcano soft tires and a 16.2 here. Starburst medium tires and a 17.655. I am loving this, and this is cracking stuff. Oh, who's that off? So we just take a look at CGS there, just visiting the fans. I think you want to get a closer look. Styles is so full fastest in the Mercedes, and he is the quickest on the medium tires so far. Goodness me, that was very quick, and there's very much a quick fire round, wasn't it? Good stuff indeed. Here's Irvine then on the soft tire. We've got Gorda saying, "Go on, Codfish." You also got Serious Russian. Come on, Iron Knight then. Here's Irvine out of final turn, second fast at the moment. You mad bro is goodness me, there's a big difference between you mad bro and Irvine at the moment. A very big difference indeed then. But let's see how this plays out. Iron Knight across the line. He's done a 34.4 there. I think he's had a trip across somewhere, hasn't he? He's going to go for another bite of cherry. I will see in just a minute or two then. And let's see what it does. And he's got DRS then. He has DRS on the coming out of turn 1 as well. As it was a bit gloomy, wasn't it, to start off this qualifying session, but now it's got a bit more sunshine. Oh, goodness me. I've got sorry about that. That's why my role is kind of repeating on me. Oh, gosh. I had a lovely... Oh, my goodness me! And Iron Knight is in the wall. Oh, good gosh, there. It is, unfortunately, it's a very painful turn number 4. As we've had a lot of drivers in the past go into that Armco wall. Luckily for Iron Knight, he went in head on there, so he hasn't damaged any of the contact patches. So he is fine then. But unfortunately for Iron Knight, then he's going to have to come back in the pits. And look at those clouds coming over. Oh my goodness me, then. And we got McLaren. McLaren's off as well, folks. He's had some issues there at turn number 5. Oh dear. No, action is starting to really ramp up now as the qualifying session is starting to really become very tense indeed, isn't it? Let's go on board Castle then. And that is a cracking helmet, isn't it? Look at that then. As he's got the Hungarian colours there. A beautiful bit of green and white and red then as well. Hats off to you, good sir. And let's go on board, shall we, then, with the hometown hero, which is Kaza as well. Now the final turn of Bulky Volcano, top 4, as he is very happy with that performance so far. Serious Russia, as he's very unhappy. As that was he's blaming himself for Iron Knight's mishaps there, and of course I cannot disagree with that. Serious Mushroom, as he does seem to pull a jinx, doesn't he, on any driver he gets behind then. And I've just asked Becca, the Welsh Maldonado. Unfortunately, she's had a bit of a bad run there since Serious Mushroom gave his back in to her a couple of races ago. Castle then out of turn number 2 then into the flick of turn 3 as well. Lovely stuff indeed then, dropping down the hill before he raced back up as well into turn 4. Remember, this is Kaz's, he is a second generation Hungarian on board the Ferrari then. Look at that as he's adjusting the wheel slider, hacksawing away there, fighting that Ferrari into turn 6 and 7 as well. We got Vinny just in front of us then. Remember that there is going to also be a lot of, look at those rain clouds coming. Oh my goodness me. And are we going to get rain, are we, in this qualifying session? I thought it was for the race then, but look at this, and this is going to very much alter the plans of some drivers here. And as Kaz's dropping off the back of Vinny at the moment. Winnie, of course, there is in the Ferrari as well, but both Ferraris have been sent out almost together, and the dirty air is really costing Kaza on this lap then. But I've really enjoyed that onboard footage there from the hometown man himself, Ed. So he probably knows the Hungarian Grand Prix more than anyone else there. Out of the final turn, Winnie goes 6th fastest, Kaza goes 6th fastest. I know nothing there. So you're 7 hundredths of a second in front of his teammate. That's a good time indeed there from Kaza and from Vinny as well. Very impressive stuff indeed there. As we got Folksy going into a lap fastest on the medium tires, and he is out of qualifying at the moment. And if the clock stopped now, then that is it. He is done for the day. What about his teammates, Silent Shifting then on board with Silent Shifting? And remember, he is He is a former ALR Grand Prix winner, isn't he, in the gold division? But of course, he is very much against the 8 ball in terms of time, testing time, then, because he's only just recently returned, hasn't he, to Grand Prix racing. He is 4th fast at the moment now, Silent Shifting is, but he is looking much more home tonight, isn't he? Good stuff indeed there for Silent Shifting. He is 4th fastest, the highest runner on the medium tires as well. That is very good stuff indeed there from Silent Shifting. The hair keeps getting to my eyes at the moment. On board with Scooby Stew then. 6 minutes ago, this qualifying session, I didn't expect any rain in this session, but look at the heat haze then. Ririum still coming off of the tarmac as well. I got to say then, we've had absolute... That's a McLaren, and I think he's just getting out of the way. It's Silent Shifting, he's just getting out of the way. Yeah, Silent Shifting there just doing a very gentleman thing indeed. Very impressive stuff indeed. Brooksy is now on soft tyres as well. He's 13th fast at the moment. His first lap time wasn't too great to write home about, was it? The first ever Cobalt race win as well. Good stuff indeed then. As now on board then with Brooksy, as Gordo was saying, for some reason the stream is only showing 2 comments from me. Sorry if it's been explained, but I've been away making a drink. As Bulky has said, okay then. I think if you try closing and reopening the stream, then that's the story of my life really. I say that all the time, close and reopen, since I'm in IT. But if you close and reopen the stream, then perhaps the comments will come back up then. Luckily I've got all my comments then, but I'll read them out as much as I can if they don't come back for you, Gordo. Out of final turn, Brooksy is Brooksy's fast. It's out by a 10th of a second. Good stuff indeed then. Here's Scooby Stew out of final turn. He is also 9th fastest in the Renault. I'm loving this qualifying session. This is fantastic, isn't it? Oh, great stuff indeed then. 4 minutes to go in the session. I should say 5 really, because it's 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We have got Starburst out on circuit as well. He had a great second position in the British Grand Prix. Can he equal that or get one better here tonight and get for the race win? We've also got Iron Knight as well, who's probably cursing his luck then after Cirrus Mushrooms jinxing them. Iron Knight then out of the final turn as well. And let's see then what Iron Knight can do then. DRS right on the money, then come across the line as well. I think he finished 4th in the British Grand Prix, didn't he? If I'm not very much mistaken. Does my mind... and he also got fast up as well. As I had to lean over to my spreadsheet. We got Serious Russia. Watch on your PS4, Gordo. Bulky is very impressed there with Brooksy's time then. So yes, it was a very good time indeed, doesn't it? Was from Brooksy. But was that Brooksy Evolution or was that Track Evolution then? Excuse me. Oh, goodness me. Oh, gosh, sir. Now Iron Knight is 13 seconds quicker in the first sector then. Of course, sir, he made it through the perilous, the pesky turn 4 as well, and through the pesky turn 5. That is a brutal part of the circuit there, isn't it? You've got to be very much watching your, crossing your T's and dotting your I's around there. You cannot take anything for granted, can you? I'm also keeping an eye on those clouds as well. They go away or they come into the circuit then. It feels like the actual Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix 2020, where I'm still waiting for the rain from that race now, to be fair, as it was meant to be hitting the circuit, wasn't it? But it never did. We've got Gordo saying... don't worry, I'm not that rich. In fact, I ain't rich at all. I think in terms of the PlayStation 5 fan, I got to say, I've saved up me pennies for a very long time to get me PlayStation 5. As Iron Knight goes 7th fastest then, and that's a better time than he is through to qualifying 3 at the moment. But whether he will stay there or not, it remains to be seen. Then with 3 minutes to go in the session, then we're just keeping an eye on the comments as well. We got Silent saying, on my part, then, as I think I might have missed a set there. We got F1 Racing League then. Brooks has had a coach called Percy. That's why he is so fast. Oh, goodness me. Well done, Percy. And I think you sent me a Discord friend request. Fantastic stuff indeed then. I gotta say, I do love when I get a Discord friend request because I feel not so lonely. Oh gosh, Sarah, I've got to say, I think that I didn't let my teeth go down enough, did I? Oh gosh, goodness gracious me! I've got a bit of wind brewing. Here comes Folksy. Let's hope he hasn't got no wind brewing then, as he is coming down into turn 1 then, and he has got to get a time in the next 2 minutes then. Otherwise, he is going to be eliminated from the qualifying session. What can the McLaren driver do? He was quite close to being eliminated in turn 1 then. As we got FIFA going saying, "Go on, Cody." We've also got James Brooks saying, "Start P10." Then unfortunately, he's got qualifying ban then, as Ayrton has really thrown the book, hasn't he? Goodness me. The power has gone to his head, hasn't it? But of course, I think that, of course, I think Ayrton was actually quite lenient, wasn't he, on some of the Oh no, I think some of the things then as well, because of course this is Cobalt is folks, he there took too much curb on the first chicane. That spat him out too wide on the second part and validated his time. He's got a minute though to sort himself out, but has he got the fuel? It looks like at the moment then, because the fuel light is not flashing. But yeah, to the court, so I think that this is a very new league, isn't it? So of course there will be some relaxing on the rules and all that kind of stuff, but of course don't quote me on that because I know nothing about the rules, and luckily I don't get involved in any of the stewarding or anything like that. Vinny could be out of qualifying here because he's not gone out for another run then. His teammate Kaza has, and also Starburst has as well. Folks, he has started this up as well, and he's going to go for another bite of cherry. Remember, he invalidated his first time. What was ZGS then? As he flicks it through turn 3, then building up into turn 4 as well. I love that shot, by the way. Look at that then. Does he take too much the outside curve? Not too much at all. He's invalidated. Hey, he's got 50 seconds to get around until they start to the next lap then. Has he got time then for ZGS? And he's going to be kicking himself in, so we're going to stay with Folksy for the minute then. Oh goodness me, then that's not good at all, is it? Don't worry, Brooksy, I'll try and qualify as high as I can then from Bulky then. I have purple for sector 1 and sector 2, and that last turn went wide. Bummer then. Gonna be a strat race tonight then. Yes indeed, I do love it. I've got to say, I've loved all the races so far. They've been very much a strategical race, apart from Gold then, which we had a safety car fiesta, didn't we? There's a lot of safety cars then, and last night I don't think, wasn't there no safety cars at all in bronze? Fantastic stuff indeed then. And I think we only had one safety car in silver as well, didn't we, after the incident before we even got to turn 1 then. Folksy out of turn 12 as well, running slightly wide then. He's done 2 laps on these medium tires, so Folksy wants to go through on the medium tires. I think he'll need an absolutely stellar final part of the lap then. ZGS has just started his time as well. I think I'm about 15 seconds in front of the drivers then, as I seem to go into the session first then. ZGS crosses the line and he's done an 18 at 3, and he is out of qualifying, unfortunately then, for the Mercedes driver. And so out is Starburst, the man who is second in the British Grand Prix, will start 13th today, and he is going to be very disappointed with that. And that's a shame there for Starburst. He is out qualifying then in the Renault car 13, and that's unlucky for some, and also unlucky for Starburst as well here tonight. Oh no, it's such a shame then. ZGS there did start a time as well, as he's going to go through the chicane as well. Hop, skip and a jump then, going a bit wide in the second part there, but he's kept on it anyway. Is that going to lose him time then? We're on board for him now then. Can we see the doubt on the steering wheel? Not quite there, because I can't see any Delta at all then. There's ZGS there. Either he doesn't need the Delta, or maybe something else is occurring. He is 7/10 of the second up. That's all I know from the graphic there, the top right hand corner of the screen there. Good stuff indeed there. And he is now up into turn 13 then. Lovely shot here from turn 13. That's a Ferrari behind us. That is Kaza, the hometown hero. Here comes a ZGS then out of turn 14 and car 65 then. And he puts the power down. Where is he going to put himself? ZGS goes 8 fast. That's through to qualifying 2, 3 then, and Kaza goes 4 fastest then, and he is also through into qualifying 3 as well. Has Codfish done enough then? Codfish, I think, has abandoned his time, hasn't he? Well, he is through into qualifying 3 as well. Good innings indeed there from all those drivers out there. Very good stuff. Love it. And goodness me, then unfortunately we did have to lose 5 drivers. That was the point of qualifying 2 then, was about losing the slowest 5 drivers. And here they are. Starting 15th on the grid is Folksy. Starting 14th on the grid is Starburst. 13th is Vinny. 12th is Scooby Stew. And 11th is Styles. And all those 5 drivers are out of qualifying, unfortunately, as we go into qualifying 3. And all the 5 drivers that have been knocked out there were all on the medium tires as well. That's a very interesting take from that qualifying 2, I should say. Silent Shifting and Iron Knight both have got on the medium tires. Everyone else in the race will start on the soft compound tire then, which is very different to the other 3 leagues, and I am loving that. That's great indeed then. I do love a variety of spice and fantastic stuff indeed then. As we get ready for the start of qualifying 3. Bulky is saying, I'm on a roll considering my 2020 form then. I think he'd be very happy with that, Bulky, then as he is through into qualifying 3 then. I'm looking forward to Belgium there from Gordo as well. So am I. I love Belgium. It's really good stuff indeed there. However, ask me this time next week if I still love it or not, because I'm feeling I'll probably in the hedge at Radion, unfortunately. But of course there it's a tough race, isn't it? Because you have a lot of I'm talking about Belgium. I should be talking about Hungary, but there we go. I've gone off on a tangent. as Brooks has got a qualifying free ban, unfortunately, there for the man who won his first Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix, just over a week ago. But just to finish off with the Belgian Grand Prix in a week's time, then it is very much about low downforce as well. It's the longest track in terms of length next week, but keep an eye on that one, and that's going to be great. But this is the Hungarian Grand Prix, and of course we got 35 laps around this one. Then it's a tough one as well. So before the leader, then there's not many overtaking spots at all. So the driver said this is quite a crucial qualifying session as well. And as Serious Russian's already said, it's all about strategy as well. Starts in with a great chance if he picks the right tyre to start then. And Serious Russian now is already back in then. He's already back in start, so he's 11th on the grid then. So I guess to choose whatever tyres his wants then, and that is going to be crucial. On board now with Hammer Time then, as he is in the Red Bull then. Let's see then what he could do then in his time run here then. Remember, you Mad Bro got pole position in the British Grand Prix last time out then. He is looking very strong indeed as well in this session. Bulky saying, I'm going to wait for track evolution to kick in like my Honda Engines VTEC then, with a cool emoji as well, the sunglasses emoji then, or the Johnny Bravo emoji, if anyone remembers who he is. Then got to say a classic Cartoon Network character. I did love Johnny Bravo. We got Hammer Time then out of the final turn. Let's see then, so let's go on board then with Hammer Time as well. Let's see if he is also going to have Hammer Time coming across the line then, and now coming down into turn 1 then, as you see yellow flag in sector 3. It is no one's gone off there, luckily. It is just drivers that finding some space, and then Hammer Time has gone off in turn 1 there, and he's got a bit too greedy there. But it looks there on the accelerator. He has spun around. Look at the rake on that Red Bull. Incredible, isn't it? I'm absolutely astounded with that. Then I've got to say, it feels like one of those old school Fast and Furious cars, don't it? Oh goodness me, with the back end up in the air. Codfish is going to take over from where Hammer Time left off, as he is now through turn 3 as well. Gio, hello guys, as we're just on board now with Codfish and flicking it into turn 4 then, 27-1 then in the first intermediate split time in the Haas car as well. This is Codfish's first ever ALR qualifying session. He is doing magnificent. He just needs to get himself into qualifying 3. Brilliant 17. Yellow flag is the Red Bull. It's just parked up and just getting out of the way then. Good 17 there from Hammer Time. On board then with Codfish. He's in the heart of the second sector as well. Let's see then. Well, Codfish is only a couple of corners away from home then, but this final sector is just as important as the first 2 sectors. He's done a 54 in the second split time as well. Car 9 has that now into turn 13 as well. Look at that Haas car then. Really, Codfish is making that Haas car do all the work. He did leave I think he left a bit of time on the table on the outside of that turn. Didn't let the car run too wide then. I think this might be a banker for Codfish out of the final turn. He's done a 16.4. Good time then. That was more than a banker. Great 17 and Silent Shift is on pole position there. He's done a 15-0 Silent Shift as he's looking in a rich run of form, is the Silent Shift in this. Hammer Time is going to go for a second bite of cherry now. We've also got You Mad Bro, who's invalidated his time by the looks at, as he is just cruising back to the pits then. So ZGS then is the next driver to have a look then and see what he can do on board then with the 1991 Michael Schumacher helmet, I think it is. And then now coming through turn 11 then, that's a crucial corner as well, isn't it? You don't want to run too wide, do you? ZGS sent into turn 12 then, as he's locking up the inside front tyre as well. That was the right loaded tyre he locked up then, running slightly wide into turn 13 then, but he likes the car to drift out before cutting in on the apex of the turn. Lovely stuff indeed then. He is almost out of deployment then according to the graphic then, runs a little wide then, uses a bit of the outside curve then. ZGS is on the front row of the grid, half a second away from Silent Shifted, but a very good time indeed there from ZGS. Good stuff then on the second row of the grid. Fantastic 17. Silent Shifting there is I think just exploring the track limits there, isn't he? On board. Oh, Kaz has invalidated his time now. Kaz, that's a shame then. And Hammer Time is also invalidated his time as well. The pressure, he's also damaged the car. Oh goodness me. So Hammer Time is going to have to come back into the pits. You Mad Bro is on his lap then. Iron Knight is on his lap as well. Let's go on board with Iron Knight then. He is on the medium tyres, remember, for the start of the Grand Prix. Iron Knight then is now coming through turn 8 as well. No, I don't even know where I am on the circuit. That's turn 11. He has done a 53 in the second sector. That's a very good time indeed then. He is going to be very much threatening the front row, the front 2 drivers, I feel. Is he going to slot into second position then, or has he got more time in that Williams car indeed then? Now into the final turn then for Iron Knight then, and you can see it's a long right-hander then to finish off the lap out of the final turn, and he is on pole position there. He found some time, and it was a lot of time as well. But man, bro, here's the first pole position of Cobalt, and he has done it again then. So 14-7. My word there. And wow, I think his opponents are going to be quite mad at that one. man, bro, they certainly are indeed then. He is on pole position for the second time in his career thus far. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Absolutely magnificent, amazing stuff then. On board with Kaz as well, as he is very much there on the limits of that Ferrari beyond, and he's fuel light is flashing then. His ERS is almost out then, but he is very much carrying on, isn't he? Kaz is that he would like to get a banker in then, so he can go for broke in the final couple of minutes in this session as well. Irvine and Bulky hasn't set a time just yet. Brooks is out qualifying. Kaz goes fifth fastest in the Ferrari, and that is very good time indeed then. So the top 7 have just set times that so far look like this. Then mad bro is on pole position now for the second time of his Cobalt career, second time in 2 races as well. I've got to say that he's reserving that pole position at the moment. Fantastic. Iron Knight is alongside him on row 1. Only 2 drivers into the 14s at the moment. Silent Shifting is very much improved by almost a second and 4/10 from his first run in I think it was silver, wasn't it? And on Tuesday night. Good stuff indeed there. Monday, I should say. ZGS in 4th position there. Kaz are on board with now in 5th. Codfish in 6th position. Hammer Time is 7th. I know those are the drivers that have set times so far. And I think that man bro just coming back into the pits while the Alfa Romeo is looking very much on song, isn't he? So let's taking a look at Bulky Volcano as well. As Serious person saying, so Shifting having a much better time then. Well done tonight as well for Iron Knight, and yeah, good stuff indeed there. As now out of the final turn there comes a Bulky Volcano. Hang on, I've got to adjust my hairband. There we go. Now I can see clearly. Ready for Bulky slap then as he comes down the hill as well. I made an error on the British Grand Prix, didn't I? Because I said that Gunnar was the only driver to ever compete in gold, silver, bronze and Cobalt. However, Bulky was also the other driver as well, as Bulky has taken part in 1 gold race, 1 bronze race, 2 silver races, and now this is 2nd Grand Prix in Cobalt as well. Then so good stuff indeed there for Bulky. He has been on all leagues as well, so great stuff indeed then. And I'd say I love that start. I do love starts. So it's really cool indeed then. And I got to say that I do bang on about Gurman there, and really very much waking his way up through the leagues as well. He's gone from bronze to silver and to gold. He has won in every single league he's participated in ALR. He's been magnificent, Gurman has, hasn't he? He's the silver world champion as well. He's also now got 2 Grand Prix wins in gold then, and I feel that he could be the heir to Ayrton's throne, to Emerson's throne as well for the world championship of gold, of course. And of course Emerson is the world champion of gold as it stands at the moment, and he's looking also he's looking very good for the regaining his crown. No, I don't know what I'm saying now. Keeping his crown. There we go. I was trying to make big words there. As Serious Richard will say, Bulky is the new Gunnar. As Bulky goes 6th fastest in the AlphaTauri, and that's a good time then for Bulky. He's done a 15.8 then. Good stuff indeed then. Hammer Time then is coming out of the final turn as well. It looks like he's already done a lap on these soft tires by the looks at. Final turn now for Hammer Time. He goes at 4th fastest. He's on the 2nd row of the grid there. Lovely stuff indeed there for the Red Bull driver. Codfish is 2/10 of a second down then, and I think there's Codfish improved. No, he's lost half a second there. What about Silent Shifting? He is 2nd fastest. He's in the 14s. He is 200 a second away from mad bro. Very quick times indeed there from Silent Shifting. But Irvine is on pole position there for the Racing Point team. Magnificent there. He's done 1 lap. He's pulling it on pole position there. Oh goodness me there. Irvine's first race here in Cobalt, and he has stolen pole position by 1/10 of a second. My goodness me. And he is going to be very happy with that, isn't he? Great stuff indeed there from Irvine. Absolutely magnificent. Has he got enough time for 1 more run perhaps? He does have enough time. Does he have enough fuel in the car? As back on board, Bulky's going for a 2nd time run as well. Look at that understeer on that AlphaTauri. Oh, goodness me, now he was struggling to make the apex into turn 13, wasn't he? Bulky he was just getting wider and wider, wasn't he? Out of the final turn then, as a serious person says that Eddie's left it late then. Bulky is not improved there. He's 3/10 a second down in that final sector, as we've seen a Alfa Romeo of mad bro starting his lap as well. What can he has he got anything to muster up? Then he's got to find a 10th to get in front of Irvine then as well. What about Silent Silent Shifting, and he is he done? He's done, and he's third fastest then. Silent Shifting is good time indeed there for Silent. I think he'll be fairly happy with that, won't he? We've got yellow flags in one as well. Iron Knight is just on his outlap as well. ZGS is on his outlap as well. So is Kaza. Bulky is 4/10 of a second down, and I think he's really trying, isn't he? Bulky is, but I feel the car is at the limit now, isn't it? As you mad bro has gone off there, and oh goodness me, and some issues there for you mad bro. He's done is he warming up the tires? Is there some issues there for the Alfa Romeo as he's reversing back onto the track there. What's going on there with you, mad bro? I think he was just waiting to get out of the way of the Haas car, but he didn't want to go on the grass there. That was a very clever thing from you, mad bro, because he didn't want to dirty those tyres, did he? But unfortunately, that's his first time run done, and Iron Knight then is on a lap as well. We got Codfish who's out there. Is Codfish going any quicker? He's a 10th for a second down in the second split time. Bulky Volcano is coming into the pits. He's 8th fastest here in this day in history. Good stuff indeed there from Bulky. Lovely stuff there. Codfish is 8/10 of a second down in the second split time. I think the team might be his day done. It's the two Alfa Romeos there are a very close company, aren't they? 43 seconds to go in this qualifying session. Iron Knight is a 10th for a second up in the first split time then. Is that enough? That's in the ballpark. What about the second section now for the Williams driver then? As Bulky there is not too happy with that final attempt there, but he's 8th fastest on the grid then. 3/10 of a second, and Iron Knight's in the second section. That could be enough for pole position for the Williams car, and he is now just a couple of quarters from home then. Irvine then, who had a one and done lap there, but I feel that I'm wondering then if he might have come out slightly later. Perhaps he might have got that pole position. Iron Knight out of the final turn, and we still got you mad bro having a good bite of cherry as well. Iron Knight out of the final turn. Iron Knight's on pole position there. He's done a 14.5. They are lowering the benchmark each and every single lap, and great time there from Iron Knight then. And I've got to say that this qualifying session is very much making my blood run very much thick and fast, isn't it? Because now we're seeing the pecking order really developing in front of our eyes here in Cobalt. Kaza goes 7th fastest in the Ferrari. He improved slightly towards the end. He's done a 15.804, and he is going to be on the 4th row of the grid. Hammer Time then is a finish his time, but it looks like he'll be 5th fastest on the grid then for Hammer Time. Unfortunately, it's a first time run. He had some issues, didn't he? Which is a big blow. You mad bro is at 4,200 so a second down. That might be enough for second position then. Let's see what he's got in the tank then. ZGS is quite close to his teammate as well then. I wonder if ZGS is going to be getting a lot of dirt here as well. The checker flag is fluttering now then. The two Alfa Romeos are the final two cars across the line. You mad bro is third fast. What about ZGS? ZGS is 5th fast at the end, but it is Iron Knight who's on pole position then for the first time in his career. Oh, magnificent stuff indeed there for the Williams driver. He is going to be loving that as well. He had a good run. He had a good start to his career in silver, and now he's got pole position then for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there for the Williams driver, and he'll be a very happy man about that. I am sure of it. Good stuff then from Iron Knight then, as he comes back into the pit. So we've had two different pole sitters then in the first two races of Cobalt. What a fantastic start then to this league then. So Iron Knight pole position then. He is very close. Is very close then to Irvine as well, who is second. Look at that, 96 hundredths of a second between Iron Knight and Irvine. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Very close indeed. Night Eye salute you there from Cirrus Mushroom, and good luck Cobalt. Break a wing as well then. In third position is you mad bro, a 10th for a second away in the end. Silent Shifting, great performance in 4th position. ZGS in 5th. Hammer Time in 6th. Kaza in 7th position. And 8th position is a Bulky. 9th is Codfish. And 10th position is Brooksy, who had a qualifying ban. Brooksy, remember, won the first race in a Cobalt. Can he win again here tonight? And I've got to say, it's a tough ask from there, isn't it? But let's see how this race will develop as well. And as we are now counted down then to the end of qualifying. That was a magnificent session, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed. We are slightly late tonight, but luckily the Hungary Grand Prix absolutely flies by, doesn't it? So I don't think I've got anywhere to go. I hope you guys haven't either. Enjoy the race, and it's going to be a cracking one indeed then. So as we'll count down to the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix, I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on Cobalt has been so far in the 1.5 sessions we've done then. Of course, we had the British Grand Prix, which was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? Well, I love the British Grand Prix. It was anarchy, but it was brilliant, wasn't it? And then this qualifying session, I feel that it's been a very interesting read to see who is where in this race. And so looking forward to this one then, as we are now getting started getting ready for the start of the race here in Budapest and the Hungarian Grand Prix. Round 2 of ALR Cobalt then. A new league this one is then. And a really good stuff indeed then. As Bogey saying, I wish I had a trainer like Brooksy. As I think that Brooksy's got an engineer with him, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed. Then, of course, an engineer really gives you a extra dynamic, don't they, in terms of the race as well. So they can very much read the race. They can tell you what is going on as well, can't they? And right then, it's here we go then for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. We've got 20 cars on circuit as well. Great stuff indeed. Let's go for the tire strategy, shall we? Only just like last night, there's only 2 drivers on the hard compound tires. Everyone else is on the soft or medium. There's a lot of soft tires out there, though, isn't there? As F1 Racing League is Brooksy's engineer as well, then. As yes, indeed, he has said this. It's great to see him still with us as well, then. So, yeah, good luck to Brooksy. Good luck to the other 19 drivers as well. Let's go for the grid. ZGS and Hammer Time have already been disqualified, so that's a bit, that's not a very good start. But hopefully they'll get all that out of the way before the start of the race, then. R9 is on pole position, and he is on the medium tires, then. So, he is on the preferred strategy, or the so-called preferred strategy. R9 and Madbro on the soft tires. They may have a start advantage then going down into turn 1. It's a short run down into turn 1 now. And of course, it's a very hard turn 1 as well. I remember 2005 where Clean went head over heels in the Red Bull. ZGS in Hammer Time, soft tires, 5th and 6th. That is row 3. Kaza in 7th position, and 8th position is Bulky Volcano. He's exploring the limits there. Bulky is in, Codfish in 9th position, Brooksy in 10th position. Remember, he had a qualifying ban, unfortunately. And 11th position there is Styles. He's on the medium tires, and this is Cirrus Mushrooms picked for the race. Scooby Stew is in 12th position. He is on the hard tires. That could be an interesting development in this race. Winnie in 13th position, Starburst in 14th, Folksy in 15th position, Benson in 16th. Hopefully he's got rid of that DRS issue. Josie in 17th position, Gaz is in 18th. First time we're seeing Josie, Gazzy and Cosmo on the circuit. 17th, 18th and 19th, and same with Jim Strav. Remember, he got draw of the day, and is he going to have the same again here tonight then in a 20th position? And he's oh goodness me, then he's on a bit of he's oh goodness gracious me, then oh gosh, there, as that is not looking too good, is it? So yeah, I'm a little worried about that one. Nuno saying good luck Silence and all the other reserves, and Sir Smith saying how the other half live, have an engineer said I'm only as engineer as I don't have a league race on a Wednesday then. Stars should have gone on hards and waited for rain then from Serious Mushroom as well. Goodness me, that Williams is looking a bit menacing there at the back, isn't he? Hopefully that clears up before the start of the Grand Prix, because that's not what we want to see, is it? The lights are on then, and here we go then. This is the start of the Grand Prix. Here we go then. We are racing! No, we ain't. Of course, we're not racing just yet. But we are now waiting then for the start. There are the revs then. And here we go then. The Hungarian Grand Prix is going green here in ALR Cobalt. It is lights out. And let's go, go, go. Iron Knight is... Oh, who's that? That's horrifying. He is taken the lead then with you, Mad Pro. Is sneaking through the inside as well. But Solid Shift is on the inside. They come down into turn 1 then. And they have all behaved very nicely indeed then. And a very well-behaved grid that is... Oh, goodness me. And ZGS is on the pole. It's our terrible start for the Alfa Romeo. He has dropped down a 5-6 position there. He's dropping on the old. That's a Ferrari of Vinny going right off the circuit there. And he is running very well. Then there's a Red Bull of Cosmo right in the background there. Vinny's got some issues there. Oh my gosh, there's issues. There's major issues there. There's a crash. And oh my word there. And Benson's off as well. CGS and Codfish have also cut the blows damage. It's a virtual safety car. And a severe collision as well. Oh my goodness me. And that Jim Strav is struggling to get through turn 4. Oh dear. It's a virtual safety car. It's a bit of a mess then down into turn 3 then. The Fast King ZGS has got damage there. He's down 15 positions there. Benson, I think, has got damage. Scooby Stew has got a 5-place grid penalty for gaining an advantage then. That's unfortunate as well. Iron Knight's dropped down 3 positions, hasn't he? As we're looking down the midfield. 10 positions is Cosmo. What a start for Cosmo. He's up 10 positions. Hammer Time has also dropped down the order as well. ZGS, Hammer Time and Codfish. I wonder what's happened to those drivers there, because they were all in the top 10. Now they're right at the back of the field there. Irvine is leading, and second position is Silent Shift, and he's at 2 positions. Umar Brown third. Iron Knight has gone from 1st to 4th then in the first lap. Then Bulky's had a great start, and Brooksy's in the pits then. Why is Brooksy in the pits? He got damage as well, as we're coming to complete lap 1 in the race then. Yes, we're on board then with the Alfa Romeo driver. What is occurring then? And the Alfa Romeo mechanics are ready then, and that's a wing ready. It's a wing then, so he's coming in the pit. pits then. As yes, as Anarchy then. We got 4 drivers in the pits, and that is a big blow indeed, isn't it, for those drivers? Irvine leads. Second position is shifting. Third is Human. Fourth is Iron Knight. Then Bulky, a fantastic start to the race. Then a great start to the race there from Bulky. Great start to the race from Josie and Cosmo as well. Cosmo, I can't believe he's up 10 positions. Magnificent stuff. Stars has got past Gaz, and Gaz has dropped down into 13th position. Then Gaz there is just keeping it on that, and Gaz in a 13th position. Oh, and who's that? That's Stars off the circuit there. Oh, goodness gracious me. He's damaged the car, Stars has there, and oh my word. Oh, and it's not going at all well, is it, for Stars, unfortunately. And he's going to have to come in the pits then as well. So there's a lot of damage then on the opening couple of laps here in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Whilst Irvine is just waltzing away in the foreground, isn't he? Got something Cosmos now. Oh my goodness me, he's up in a 7th position. Cosmos, he's gone wide. So Starburst is going to go back on the outside as well. And I'm looking at it, and Cosmo forcing himself out wide. Then Yellow Flags is I think it's when the Mercedes just try and come back into the pits. And look at that, in the first 3 cars have all set fastest ups. Goodness gracious me, then the trading fastest ups right from the get-go as well. DRS has now been enabled then. Let's see how effective this will be then, going down into having a run down into turn 1 as well. Back on board with Starburst as well. But you mad bros all over the back of the Silent Shift in the moment. As I just take a look at the tyre strategy at the moment. Silent Shift, remember, it's on the medium tyres, and whilst the soft runners are going to have the advantage at the moment then. But of course, and this is where it will start to change then later on in the session as well. Codfish is he back in? I think Codfish is back in the pits, is he? No, I don't think he pitted at all to begin with, did he? But that's a bit unfortunate as well. And just now on board there with you mad bro. This is going to be a very long race, this one is, and of course, because we are expecting rain later on this race as well. So do not go anywhere, folks, and this is going to be a cracker. Safety car, because Gaz is in the wall. Oh, goodness me, and Gaz is in the wall. He is out of the race then, and he's gone off at the perilous turn 4, and yes, he's off, and he is out of the Grand Prix, and that is such a shame now for Gaz then, and he is dropped, and that is such a shame now for the Haas driver. He is out, and that is not good, is it? So safety car is going to help the drivers then. It's about to come into the pits earlier on then. Is anyone going to come? Irvine's in the pits then, so Irvine has come in the pits, and so is you mad bro as well. So the drivers then who start on the soft tires are coming in the pits, and whilst the medium runners are staying out then. Oh, this is a great race so far, isn't it? Magnificent stuff indeed then. This is going to get very interesting now. So safety car is out now. Bernd Molander, who has been a bit of a menace, hasn't he, to me and Ayrton over the past couple of days. Hopefully, past couple of weeks. Hopefully he won't be a menace here tonight then. Irvine coming out of the pits now. Can he get in front of his teammate Josie? Josie just coming out. There he is. He's gone past. So is Vinny as well then. So Vinny is through and past Irvine. Irvine in 7th position. You mad bros in 8th position. Foxy is up to 9th position. Jim Straff is in 10th position. Bulky coming out just beyond Jim Straff as well. Kaza is on the hard tires here. Good. So of course the 2nd generation Hungarian, and we've also got ZGS in the pits as well, throwing on then he's also got wing damage as well as EGS, so he's thrown on the hard tyres, and a lot of pit action there right from the get-go here, and you can see them there changing the nose cone on that Alfa Romeo. Where's he going to come out? Then he should come out in front of Codfish, who is just coming out of the final turn. He should do, as of course they are having to adhere to the Delta there. Scooby Stew in the pits as well then, as this is a very tough race this one is. This is a very technically challenging Grand Prix, isn't it? No rain is, there is rain on the horizon then, but the question is, when is it going to come? I think it's quite a long way away at the moment, isn't it? And now out of the pit side that comes at Scooby Stew. Well, in terms of the penalties, we have 5-second penalties for Starburst, for Josie, and for Vinny there. But I gotta say, Cosmo has had an absolutely outstanding start. He's got up 16 positions in 5 laps there. Jim Straff up 10 positions as well. 12 positions there for Josie, 10 positions for Starburst. Magnificent stuff indeed. And it has been anarchy to start this Hungarian Grand Prix off, hasn't it? Goodness me. But Cosmo had a magnificent start into the Hungarian Grand Prix. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed there. Serious Russian saying a good job. A good job. I didn't say great start then. As yes, it was a bit anarchy, wasn't it? Scooby Stew has also got a penalty there. Did he just get a penalty then? He's got a 5-second penalty. Scooby Stew, I said. So that's a big blow, isn't it, for the Renault driver? And only 4 laps in, and it's getting dark already. Then at the moment, it does look a beautiful day here in Budapest, isn't it? I got to say, I always have to talk about the water slide when we're around here. Of course, there's a water park, isn't it, just over yonder. Of course, I think it's around the turn 6 area, isn't it? Just on the outside of turn 6 is where the water park is around here. It's a beautiful area, isn't it, Budapest? And I think it's one track which I would love to go to, really, and hopefully one day when all the pandemic is over, that'll be definitely one thing to tick off the old bucket list, wouldn't it? Safety car is out at the moment, and we're on lap 5 out of 35. There is 30 laps to go in this race. We have had at the moment. So who is coming to the pits? You Mad Bro and Irvine have both come to the pits. They've gone on to the medium compound tires. Bulky's been on the medium and on the medium tires as well. Kaza is gone on to the hard tires. As a Jim Strav is dropping down the order. What's happened to Jim Strav here? He's very laggy anyway at the best of times, but I'm not sure why Jim Strav is dropping down the order, and this is not looking too healthy for Jim Strav, unfortunately. In terms of connection, hopefully that will clear up then in the race itself. But yeah, Jim Strav has gone from 10th to 13th, 10th to 15th then in this Grand Prix. So hopefully the safety car, there it is, and we're now the safety car is coming in. Benson is out of the race then, and oh my goodness me, David Benson is out of the Grand Prix, and what has happened there? And Brooksy's gone. What's going on here then? It's all chaos, and there's 2 cars out, and the safety car. What is going on here in this Grand Prix? Oh no! And Benson is out, Brooksy's out, Gas is out then under the safety car, and this is not good at all then. And look at this, as ZGS said, it's tried to. I think it's Jim Straff is the problem. Oh goodness me! And now we're back racing again, and Science Shifting leads. Iron Knight is in second position. Cosmo is now having to defend there from Starburst. He's going down into turn 1. Oh, contact! And Iron Knight then has been spun around. And oh, goodness me. It's an anarchy. It's a mess. And now Iron Knight has dropped right down to 10th position there. And Starburst has damaged his car as well. He's misjudged his braking point, hasn't he? Down into turn 1 there. And he is going to be very much on the back foot now. On board Josie as well. We've got Irvine now back up into 6th position as well. ZGS dropping down the order, as there is all kinds of anarchy as well from I'm not sure who caused that. I'm very much there. I'm putting the blame on Jim Straff when I'm pro, and I don't really know. Hammer time is facing the wrong way, and he is dropping down the order as well. Oh dear, it's not going at all well. Stars has got a penalty as well. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's oh goodness me, then absolutely incredible stuff indeed. And Brooksy's dropped his controller, and it turned to the left then, and man says lies. Uno oh goodness me. So I apologise to Jim Straff for blaming him, but oh goodness me, and I'm not sure, but Benson there was crashed there, didn't he? And I'm not sure if that was because of the issues of Jim Straff, but oh my gosh, Codfish is in the wall, and he is out then at the exit of turn 13. Codfish is out. They are dropping like flies. There's another safety car in the Grand Prix. Absolute anarchy here, and oh gosh there, and oh goodness me, I've just looked at the replay on the stream now, and he just went, I'm not sure if I'm not sure what happened there for Codfish, but he's out of the race. And Hammer time in the pits then, so is Iron Knight, and Starburst also in the pits as well then. What an incredible start into this Cobalt Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed, isn't it? They come out of the pits now, and let's see then what's occurring then. So now is into the pits, there comes Iron Knight as well. What a shame for Iron Knight, and the pole sitter had a bit of a nightmare race, but with this second safety car, this might be able to, as he comes out just in front of Hammer time, this might be able to help him out here then. I apologise to Jim Straff fan, as of course, as I might, because I think I might have been blaming him when there was when I think that unfortunately Brooksy dropped his controller there and out of the Grand Prix. What a shame there from Brooksy. And there's a safety car at the moment. Then as he just parked on the side. Then Gordo saying a double DNF for the Haas team. Then so that's a shame then, isn't it, for the Haas team? Both Gaz and Codfish out after only 6 laps in the Grand Prix. So then as we're now back under safety car once again then, and yes, it is starting to get a bit darker now, isn't it? Of course, rain is affected then. And oh goodness me, then I was now just on board then with Silent Shifting is into the pits. There comes Josie. Let's see what we can do then. As Troy saying, "Come on, Cobalt, you can do better than this." And it's very anarchy, isn't it, here in the Grand Prix? As I'm now coming down into turn 1 then. So let's see what we can do then. What's going to occur then? So Silent Shifting is currently first. Cosmo is second. Vinny in third position. Irvine is fourth, and You Mad Bro fifth. Sixth position is Bulky. Seventh is Folksky. Eighth position is Kaza. Jim Strav is ninth. Scooby Stew in 10th position. CGS is in 11th. 12th position is Styles. 13th is Jose. 14th is Starburst. 15th is Iron Knight. 16th is Hammer Time. Soft tires out for Hammer Time and Starburst. And as they feel, I wonder if they're feeling that the rain is coming quicker. And look at this, he's all over the back of Iron Knight. Then his Hammer Time is trying to ask Iron Knight to go quicker here. As yes, he's weaving, isn't he? So I think he wants Hammer Time to go quicker. As yes, I think that it's because he's a bit concerned then, and to really get on with it, isn't he? So I've got to say, Val was doing this, I think, in the British Grand Prix 2010, wasn't he? Weaving from the side of the car then. So I think he was asking one of the was it one of the HRTs to go a bit quicker, or one of the KRM to go? Well, it wasn't KRM back then, was it? I think it was the it was the Lotus team, wasn't it? The Lotus team then. The Tony Fernandez! Oh no, and Hammer Time is in the wall! And oh my goodness me! What is going on here tonight? He is out of the Hungarian Grand Prix! Hammer Time is gone as well! Oh, this is absolutely, and folks, he's got a 5-second penalty! Oh goodness gracious me then. And this, I don't know what to say anymore. This is absolute anarchy here in the Grand Prix tonight then. It has been a very brutal race, hasn't it, indeed then. Silent Shifting is in the pits then, so he's rolling the dice then. He feels it today. Now is the time to come into the pits then, and there's a serious person saying that he was overwarming and tires Hammer was then, and that's why he's gone off in turn 4 into the pits. There comes the race leader, or was the race leader, Silent Shifting. He's on the hard tires now from car 19 and he is rolling the dice here. He is going to be right at the back of the field though, but this might be crucial in the later stages of the Grand Prix as well, as the clouds are still rolling towards Budapest, aren't they? As he comes out of the as he comes out now then, and going down into turn 1 then. Cosmo now leads the Grand Prix, and just to remind you where Cosmo started, he started, I think he started 19th on the grid. He is now leading the Grand Prix. An absolutely outstanding start then to the Grand Prix here for Cosmo. Magnificent performance there from Cosmo, as he's really picked and chosen where to go, hasn't he? So Cosmo leading this race. I don't think he even expected to be right up there. Vinny is second then, as Vinny has I think got a 5-second penalty there. His goodness me there, as he is he's just got to be a bit careful there of bolting and stopping like that. Just doesn't want to drive to the back of Cosmo and damage his front wing, of course then. So hopefully the safety car will be in at the end of this lap then, as we have got Hammer Time, Codfish, Brooksy, Benson and Gaz all out of this Grand Prix after only 9 laps then as well. It's been a very entertaining first 10 laps to say the least as well. Absolute carnage, hasn't it, here in Hungary. Of course, this has been described Monaco without the barriers, but my word there, and it's been very interesting. Cosmo, I don't think it's got a generic helmet there. Goodness me. I got to say, I absolutely frown upon that then, of course, that I do love a good helmet. I'm wondering then if Cosmo, it might have been because he's joined late as well. You mad bro? Oh no, You Mad Bro's got a 5-second penalty. His Bulky's gone into the back of him as well. When are we going to go racing as well, as Cosmo slowing the road, slowing all the, and folks, he's got one as well, as it's not very good in that part of the circuit then. And when is he going to go? We are going now then, as there's penalties galore. Rain is also on the foot as well. Into the pits, there comes a Bulky, and now, and Bulky's, I think the Bulky just went into the Armco there. We're back racing then, and now then is Cosmo leads second position. Vinny Irvine is all over the back as well. Remember, Irvine is the highest runner who has been in the pits, and is he going to lunge going into turn 1? Not quite then. Jim Strafen is now up into his 5th position then, and Jim Straub, and good stuff indeed then. So once again, Jim Straub is just picking his way through the field, and now up into, and look at this, You Mad Bro's on the inside there of Irvine. They're both on the similar tyres there, and You Mad Bro, wow, that's incredible racing, and You Mad Bro's gone off the circuit there. So of course, if we apply the FIA logic, then that would technically, and Jim Straub has done Matrix style there, and somehow he is come back on the circuit there, and now then as we come into the chicane as well, and a hop, skip, and from the jump as well. The Ferrari's gone very wide there, and someone's skirted off, and New Mad Bro's gone on the outside. That's a magnificent manoeuvre. Irvine is also through as well, and now the Ferrari is very much on the back foot, and Jim Straff all over the back as well in the Williams. Oh goodness me, then, as there's a lot of lagging going on there, as Styles has got past as well. Starburst is struggling. There's Josie also dropping down there as well. ZGS is having a 12th position. Iron Knight is in 13th as well. There is Silent Shifted. Oh goodness me, Iron Knight is going for it. He's had a look. He's going for it. Oh my goodness me, and he gets the squeeze. Well, also Silent Shifted through as well. ZGS is dropped down from 12th to 14th. As now he's good stuff. That was good racing now, actually. Very good stuff indeed. And look, coming through then as Cosmo leads by 6 tenths of a second. Then from New Mad Bro in second. Great stuff indeed. That third position is Irvine, and Vinny is now being under the pressure now, isn't he? As we go down into turn number 1. He's up the inside. Jim Stravis passes the Ferrari, and away he goes then. Vinny there, get on the power then, a bit too much there, and a bit of a squirrel. And now we got some Scooby Stew and Iron Knight then is dropping down the order as well. Just going back to Scooby Stew, and where is he? He's still behind at the moment. And his look at this, I love this shot, and lovely helicam shot as well as they go for the fast kink of turn number 3. Oh, magnificent stuff indeed. That as a Silent Shift in there has also got past Star. Oh goodness me, as a Starburst there is I think on those soft tires is really struggling at the moment. And now ZGS, and look at that, he's been wrong foot, and look, he's dropped down the order, and Cosmo's dropped down. His Human Pro has taken the lead then. Fall up odor soft tires has really cost him, hasn't it? And now then he is strong at the moment, isn't he? Cosmo's he's had a magnificent race so far, hasn't he? What an incredible race this has been. And the other soft runner, oh, he's got the damage to his front wing there of Starburst, and as a Scooby Stew is now at the inside. This is Anarchy here, and what about Starburst is still in front of Iron Knight as well as we go up into turn 12 as well. And Starburst is running wide. Look at the damage down the Renault. Starburst is trying to stay in front, and this is hurting Iron Knight's progress. But he's gone on the outside. He has gone on the outside. He is past. He is through. He is up into. Oh my word! There's 14. There's 4 cars, I should say. Then it's Folksy. It's Josie. It's Cyril Island Shifting. It's Styles as well. Oh goodness me! And Silent Shifted is now doing 9th position. He's doing a good job then. And look at this. The 2 McLarens there are also now starting to go to work as well. Iron Knight then is trying to fend off a Starburst who is down in the 13th position there. But he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be overtaken there. And Boki down in at 15th position at the moment. It's a long way to go, though, of course. And I love the, as Sam was saying, 5 DNF said. Oh, we've also got Silent Shift. He's got a penalty as well. So Sam saying here, 5 DNF said in the opening couple laps said it's been anarchy, hasn't it? Serious Merchant saying, Cosmo's in a different universe, and I love that. I'm going to be stealing that one. It's great stuff indeed there from Serious Merchant there. Silent Shift is now in 9th position as well. There was a car running a bit wide then. I'd say a bit wide. Oh goodness me, and oh my word, and that's rain. There's rain on the camera here. There's rain on the Mercedes car of Styles, and yes, it is raining here in Hungary. Goodness me, Cosmo is dropping down the order as Cosmo's in the pits, and I don't think it's wet enough for the intermediate tires yet. We're only on lap 13, and it is raining. They've had 3 beautiful days of sunshine, and now Kobo is very much in the thick of things, aren't they? Styles has gone wide then, and now at the inside is Iron Knight, and he's also got DRS as well. And the intermediate tires for Cosmo. As let's see how heavy this rain is. Quite heavy rain from the get-go, isn't it? This is torrential, I feel. Oh goodness me, then this is going to get very interesting indeed. And so Silent Shift there. Oh, it is off. That's Styles. Styles is off the circuit there as well. Oh, goodness gracious me. Cosmo is now on the intermediate tires. This is a heavy downpour as well. Into the pits comes Bulky. He's going onto the intermediate tires. Well, he has to serve a 5-second penalty first, of course, so hasn't he? Yellow flag then, as we have got issues that DRS has been this is a downpour. The DRS has been disabled. It's absolutely appalling conditions out there. The intermediate tires for Cosmo and Bulky, I think they've done an absolutely incredible job. They got Mystic Meg. Scooby Stew has got across the circuit as well. Oh goodness gracious me. Serious Merchant saying, I told you it got darker. Yes indeed, and it is absolutely poured down. The second Ferrari has just overtaken Vinny down into 4th position. They're going to come into the, look at this, that was only 1 lap of rain. They're going to have to come in the pits. They are in the pits now. Yellow flag as Stars is off again, and it's a nightmare for Stars in the Mercedes. And New Mad Bro is in the pits. Irvine's in the pits as well. It's gone wide. Oh, Irvine almost went into the pit there. Of course, he was emulating David Coulthard from Adelaide almost, but he's coming in the pits. Kaz is in the pits while both Ferraris are in major trouble. So too. Oh no, look, it's into the pits comes Vinny as well. Josie's in the pits, Vinny's in the pits, Silent Shifting's in the pits as well. They're all coming into the pits, and just Scooby Stew trying to overtake. Cosmo's off, he's damaged the car. Oh no, and Cosmo, it was absolutely, this was the perfect opportunity for Cosmo. He timed it to perfection. You mad bro and Irvine are coming out of the pits now. I think Cosmo, if I got off, would have taken the lead surely, and he look at that rain has come from nowhere. In 2 laps the track is absolutely saturated here. Oh my goodness me, absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Cosmo will know about the track conditions more than other drivers. Kaz is in 5th position, fantastic stuff indeed. And into the pits because the Alfa Romeo team as well. And now is Vinny's in the pits, DGS coming in the pits on the intermediate tires. The Alfa Romeo getting to work that new nose cone as well for Starburst. Foxy's in the pits, I should say, in the pits. And now we've also got Bulky who put on the intermediate tires, and look at how much time Bulky made up as well. Oh, well, gosh, I don't know. Hopefully I can have a breather now, but I don't think I can then. The umbrellas are up in the stands. This is heavy rain, isn't it? This is, oh goodness me. This is heavy rain then, and I don't mean the game either. Absolutely anarchy, isn't it? Of course, if anyone's played heavy rain, they'll also know the Sean thing as well then. As I think that's what we were shouting then. As just on board now then, and as this has been absolutely absolute anarchy here then. You mad bro is leading, then second position is Irvine, third position is Jim Straff, and once again driving superbly well. Cosmo in 4th position, Kaz is 5th, Silent Shifting is in 6th position then, and he's looking very strong, isn't he? Silent Shifting, remember he was leading this race earlier on, wasn't he? And now then is he now we are breaking down into a 5 and a 6 then. Let's see then how this race is going to develop then. 20 laps to go in the Grand Prix. Is this rain here? Is this just a summer shower, or is this rain now in for the remainder of the race, and with 20 laps to go? I don't think we can handle 20 more laps of this fast and furious action. How the race goes. We got a McLaren off in the background. That's Folksy is still on the hard tyre for some reason then. So Folksy, I'm wondering if that's a strategy here from the McLaren team. He is going to have to come back into the pits, and it's too wet for the slick tyres, and that is absolutely incredible indeed, isn't it? An absolute deluge of a race. It really is indeed then. Oh my goodness me, then I'm going to have to lie down after this one. I gotta say, absolutely this has been incredible, hasn't it? So, you mad bros now got a 1.5 second lead over Irvine in second, then Jim Strav in third position, and Cosmo in fourth position. Jim Strav and Irvine in front of Jim Strav and Cosmo have had a brilliant opening stint to this race then, and the gaps are not going to start to open up now. So the rain is, it's quite heavy rain out there, isn't it? But yellow flag, Iron Knight is off the circuit there. He's going cross country. He's back on the circuit, but he has damaged the end plate. And Iron Knight, unfortunately, oh, what a shame for Iron Knight then. He was on pole position as well, but it looks like the pole position there is looks like pole position is becoming a bit of a poison chalice in this league at the moment, isn't it? It seems like our two pole sitters have had a bit of a nightmare. And now Iron Knight is off into the wall. He is out of the race there. And I think that I'm wondering if he didn't know about the wing damage, but surely he would have done. Folksy coming out of the pits now, and we have got a safety car again. That's 3 safety cars now in this race, and it's absolutely, well, luckily for Folksy, he can overtake the safety car, so that's very good timing for Folksy. He'll be right under the oh no, he won't, because he's dropped back there slightly into the pits. There comes Cosmo, so this is a good opportunity to change the nose cone. So Kaz is also in the pits as well, so Cosmo is going to try and get to the end on those intermediate tires now. I wonder if those are wet tires going on for Kaz. It is raining on there, but I don't think it's I don't think it's wet enough. Folksy has been disqualified for ignoring yellow flags then, and what a shame then for, and is he out? He is out of the Grand Prix. We're down to 12. This might be the lowest finishing rate ever in ALR history here. Oh my goodness me, folks, he has been disqualified, and that is such a shame as well. Down to 12 cars then, and oh goodness gracious me, then that is such a shame indeed, isn't it, for Folksy? Oh my goodness me. Liam said that looked debatable then. His equals also giving me the eyes as well. As 3 safety cars there for Sam, 7 DNFs. It's been an action-packed Grand Prix thus far, isn't it? And Serge Rush has got to drop the kids off here to catch up later. As absolutely Well, it's been action, hasn't it, to say the least then. So lap 16 and hour 35 then. We still got over half the race to go in this race then. I'm looking at the wet tyre decision there from Kaza then. Let's see, we ain't going to be able to see too much about it, but I think that it's not wet enough for the wet tyres just yet. There is not any standing water across the circuit, is there? So I don't think that the wet tyres is the right choice there, but I have been wrong before. I could be wrong on this occasion as well. 12 cars remain. Retirements, Iron Knight then, Styles, Hammer Time, Codfish, Brooksy, Benson, Gaz, and Foxy all out of this Grand Prix, and it's been absolutely chaos, hasn't it? Carnage, to say the least, as well. And Kaz's struggling to turn that car then. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the wet tires are the way to go then. Is it? He's staying up? Oh, he's sticking with it then. So the safety. No, he's coming into the pits then. So he's changed his mind then. The intermediate. So he's going to go back on the intermediate tires for sure then. As the Ferrari mechanics then will be getting ready now then. As you can see, those red overall mechanics then just in the fore distance then. There they are. They're coming out now with those. I assume they are green tires. They are the green tires. So the wet tire experiment. No, he isn't. He's back on the wet tires there. Kaza is then. So I wonder if he had some issues there with those wet tires. Did he have a puncture? That would have been very unusual from the Ferrari driver, or perhaps then the Ferrari mechanics who do know about their history of strategic calls then. But Kaza is on the. I think that Kaza probably might have wanted to go back onto the intermediate tires, unless that the other tire was the wrong batch. Then perhaps we'll keep an eye on what Kaza could do then, because Kaza has now got almost half a lap then to catch up and see what's occurring. And Jim Stradfair is doing a lovely dance step in the background, but that's not going to help anyone who's trying to overtake him behind him then. So that's not good, is it? Right then. So we're on lap 17, and hopefully the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Then we can go back racing again. Then you mad bro, he was on pole position Wednesday the British Grand Prix. And where did he finish then? He finished in 7th position at the end, didn't he, at the British Grand Prix? And of course, he had a bit of a difficult start, didn't he? But now he is leading the line, isn't he? He's leading this field with Irvine in 2nd position, Jim Straff 3rd, Silent Shifting is 4th, Josie had a fantastic 5th with Scooby Stew in 6th, Cosmo down into 7th then, but he is on fresher intermediate tyres. That could be crucial. Vinny in 8th position, 9th is ZGS, 10th position is Bulky, Starburst in 11th position, Kaza is in 12th, and we're on board with Kaza then. And let's see then, is he going to get purchased then out of these wet tires? And of course, the wet tires can disperse. Is it 80 litres per second or something like that? I know the intermediate tires can disperse like 60 or something like that. I am not too sure. That back end is really stepping out then for Kaza then, as Kaza is coming back into the pits then. So yeah, I think the team might want to go back onto the intermediate tires then. So he is coming back into the pits then. He might have to start to get a bit of a move on though, the Ferrari driver, because of course that is the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. I feel as they've cleared the carnage of the Williams driver of R90. He's out of the Grand Prix into the pits, and now he's on the intermediate tyres, and so it's a Ferrari blunder there for Kaz. What a shame then on the man who's of course this is a second home from homes, isn't it? It's a second generation Hungarian Kaz. He's coming back out of the pits now, and he's got he hasn't got too much laps to make up then, because they're only coming out of turn 3. So here we go. We're going to be back racing. We're just at half distance here in this Grand Prix then, and we're going to be back. We're going to be back racing in just a jiffy as well then. Lap 18 out of 35 then here in Hungary as well. Of course, as I mentioned in the pre-show, there has only been 3 rain affected races here in Hungary. And of course, 2 of them was won by Jenson Button, wasn't it? Jenson Button won the 2006 Grand Prix and the 2011 Grand Prix as well. Of course, that was his first ever Grand Prix win as well for Jenson Button, wasn't it, in 2006? A fantastic race, wasn't it? And of course, I think on Jenson's 200th Grand Prix start in Formula 1, that's when he won his second Hungarian Grand Prix. And then it was Daniel Ricciardo then who won the Hungarian Grand Prix won the Hungarian Grand Prix, didn't he? I think that was the second Grand Prix win as well in his career for Daniel Ricciardo. Safety car is in the end of this lap then. So who is going to be a Button or a Ricciardo-esque in this Grand Prix then? I got to say, this is very heavy rain conditions. I think it's the heaviest has ever been in any Hungarian Grand Prix in terms of, if you think about it, in the real world of Formula 1 then, because it's always been like showers, hasn't it, in Hungary? Well, this has been a bit of a deluge, hasn't it? The rain was absolutely bucking it down then, almost from lap 13, and it was a great call from Cosmo. Scooby Stew as just, oh goodness me, then Scooby Stew has just had some issues there. I think it's Cosmo, wasn't it, who's gone to the back of Scooby Stew. Has he got damaged? He hasn't got damaged, luckily enough, but that's a penalty there for Scooby Stew, and luckily we're back racing then. So now it's into the pits here, comes ZGS then. So you mad bro leads at second position is Irvine, third is Jim Straff, fourth position is Silent Shift in Josie in fifth position, Scooby Stew in sixth, Cosmo is in seventh position and he's a bit too far back with Vinny in eighth position. Then we've got a Renault going up the inside of Starburst of Bulky. Bulky is leaving the door slightly ajar, then is Starburst going to go through? It's Starburst, I should say. Oh, not quite, and it's a Bulky there. Almost trying to take the race line there, but Starburst was still there. He's right underneath the rear wing of Bulky Volcano. Bulky on a much better race, I think, tonight than he is in the British Grand Prix. He's gone wide though, and oh goodness me, and Starburst had to take a race of action there, and look, he's on the outside. This is going to be perilous. And Starburst was thinking better about that then, and not coming together then. It's just the battle for points then as well. There's a lot of points on offer for several of these drivers tonight then, isn't it? Now then we're on board as Scooby Stew has got a 3-second penalty as well. And look at the front then as Scooby Stew is struggling by the looks of it. He's lost a second already to Jose, and we've also got a conga line form behind Jim Straff as well, so that this is going to get a very tasty Grand Prix as well. We're in the second half of this Grand Prix now. We've had safety cars galore, and it's been an action-packed race, hasn't it? I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Been brilliant stuff indeed. Then, of course, it's been action-packed, hasn't it? To say the very least. Then, you mad bros now extend this lead, and it's almost up to 1.8 seconds. Then Irvine in second position, then 1.7 seconds behind it. As also Ferrari in the foreground there, going a bit wide. That's Kaza. He's struggling. It's the on of whatever tires he's going on, but hopefully those tires would come to him in the later distance of this race. I'm just watching Winnie, who's quite close to the back of Cosmo, but Cosmo's launched off of turn 14 absolutely splendidly well, hasn't he? But oh my goodness me, Bulky there, wow, came very violently across there, but he's gone wide there, Bulky has there, and he's got off the circuit as well. As Kaza got by, no he hasn't. Kaza's still behind him. Goodness me, and that was a very late maneuver there from a Bulky Volcano from Bulky there. Goodness me, then a very much of a Verstappen-esque maneuver. Goodness gracious me, then maybe a bit too late there. Good gracious me, as going a bit wide there. Bulky was, but he is down. Is that you mad bros dropped down the order then? As I thought I seen someone that look as Irvine is gone 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, and you mad bro is out of the session. Oh no, this is heartbreak for you mad bro. Oh my goodness me, he's driving a superb race up to this point, and he is dropping down the order. He has dropped out of the session as well, and Irvine leads the Grand Prix, and he's and now Jim Straff is in second position, third position is Silent Shifted, Josie in fourth position. You mad bro, can he get in the session quickly? He's got 15 laps to do so as well. If anyone can learn back him, that'll be absolutely fabulous, won't it? Is he back in the session there? He looks solid to me there. I think he is back in the session, and perhaps did he just lose? I don't know, but I don't know whatever happened momentarily, but I didn't even see him come back in the session there. But you mad bros dropped from first to fifth with those connection issues. What a shame there, but let's see what he can do then to get himself back, and he's still got 14 laps to go then. The first 17 or 18 laps, we've lost about 8 cars in this Grand Prix. There's a high DNF rate at the moment in Cobalt, isn't it? But remember, it's a new league, isn't it? There's a lot of drivers that are going to be very green to this, very green and to this racing, isn't it? So we just see how it plays out. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable Grand Prix watch for me, I must say. I absolutely love it. And who's that there in the foreground now? Jim Straff is very much right underneath the rear wing of Irvine. Silent Shift is now third position with Jose in full position. You mad bro in fifth position, very close indeed. Then we've got 3-second penalties now for Bulky Volcano, who is in 10th position, I should say then, but he's still on the cusp of points then, and that is important for himself and the AlphaTauri team as well then, so he needs to keep going in this race. But Kaza there is going to be very much there. Look at these cars, and that's the leaders, and here are the second group of cars. My word then, and this is an absolute deluge now, isn't it? And the rain is still getting heavier, I would say, isn't it? And this is going to get very, very tense indeed then. Who is going to be able to survive then? Is there going to have to be wet tires in a minute? I think this is now becoming into wet tire territory. Look at that then. The rain is absolutely appalling, and Scooby Stew, look, it's going horizontal across the screen. Oh my goodness me. Absolutely appalling weather conditions out there. Who is going to be the rain master of Cobalt as well then? This is the first time we've seen the Cobalt racers in the wet, and I'm loving it then as well then. Who's got the skill to keep it on the track? Magnificent stuff indeed then. And as coming out of the final turn as well. Field saying this track is hard when it's in the wet, and yes, this is the most difficult conditions, isn't it, of any Formula 1 race so far. Kaz is in the pits, and I'm wondering if he might be ruining his decision to go on back onto the intermediate tires. The Ferrari driver is, and he might be using that homegrown knowledge then to go onto the wet tires. We're keeping an eye on his choice then, as he is now coming into his pit box. He's on the wet tires, so Kaz has gone onto the wet tires now. Look at the foreground then. That's Irvine now, who's very much fighting with Jim Stroud. Jim Stroud coming up through the back of the field again then, and look at this, you mad bros right underneath the rear wing of Josie as well, who's also come through the field. We've had some magnificent Grand Prix, not magnificent, it's Irvine's dropped down into for a second because Jim Stroud has taken the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. A magnificent performance there from Jim Stroud, and now has he got the pace to pull away? I think he has. He's got no penalties either. Jim Stroud hasn't. He's been magnificent, hasn't he, in this Grand Prix, and now he is at the forefront. And good indeed. Irvine is struggling in these conditions, isn't he? I think Irvine would have been very happy if he just stayed dry. As Cosmo is down the order. Cosmo's off the circuit, and it is very wet out there as he damaged the car. That's a bit of a long shot. Can see, is there an end plate on the left hand side there? I think he's still got both his end plates there, but he has come a cropper then, and he might have to just get those intermediate tires back into the right operating window as well. This is an incredible conga line, isn't it? As a starburst there, a starbust then is got the run on Vinny, and Vinny, is he coming in the pits? No, he isn't there. He's just taking a tighter line on the outside, and he is through then. The other Ferrari has come a cropper as well, and in the second intermediate split time there, and Bulky is now alongside Winnie as well, and Winnie is struggling in these conditions, I think, but he's got quite a good bit of speed. Bulky's diving up the inside, but they're very goodness me then, and running slightly wide then, but Winnie gave him enough room indeed. It's a good awareness from both drivers indeed. Well, Bulky's dropped right back there. I think he tried to go on the power slightly, didn't he? And now then Irvine is dropping back, and yellow flags as the wet tires are still not the way to go. Then it's into the pits comes Kaza again then, as Kaza is the wet tires. It doesn't matter, wet or intermediate. I think it's too it looks like it's too dry, too dry. I think it's not wet enough for the wet tires, but it looks like intermediate tires is a borderline at the moment, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. And just back on board now then with Jim Stroud. Has now got a 1.7 second lead then. I think we found our ringmaster, haven't we? Here is Jim Stroud, absolutely loving these conditions. He put himself in the right window, didn't he, to begin with a very calm drive, didn't he, coming up through the field. And now he is now really grabbing the Hungarian Grand Prix by the horns, isn't he? He is now leading by 1.7 seconds. But then we have got an incredible battle between Irvine, silent shifting, Jose and you mad bro for second, third, fourth and fifth. Scooby Stew is 3 seconds back then with Starbust. That's 3 seconds back as well. Both runners 6th and 7th, magnificent. 8th position is Winnie. 9th position is Bulky. 10th position is Cosmo after his trip in the middle part of the lap. Then in 10th position ZGS down in 11th position. Kaza in 12th position after coming to the pits multiple times. Then switching back from inters to wet tires. I gotta say it was a good shout though, wasn't it? Because it was a sensible shout. Because look at this weather, absolutely appalling, isn't it? Look at this. It's been very much heavy. It's been heavy rain, hasn't it, since lap 13, lap 14 now. Silent shifting though. Remember silent shifting in the Canadian Grand Prix a couple of years ago. He was on pole position, wasn't he? But it was Emerson and Nolte who took the advantage, didn't he, back in season 2? And silent shifting really struggled in those wet conditions that day. Well, today he is looking much more at home, isn't he, in that McLaren? And very good stuff indeed there for silent shifting there. So he's definitely improved on his wet wear performance, hasn't he? Bulky's got 3 second penalty. Only drivers haven't got penalties is Jim Stroud, is you mad bro, is Cosmo, and it's ZGS as well. Good hustle from all those drivers. Lovely shot for you from his Bulky. He's got past he is past the Ferrari. I'm enjoying position there. Good stuff indeed. That Vinny is struggling now. He's jumping down into 9th position there, isn't he? As it says It's a brutal game, this Formula 1 this Formula 1 is, isn't it? Especially when the weather goes against you, which it has gone against a lot of drivers tonight. I've got to say, hats off to the drivers that remain in this race at the moment. We haven't had any retirements lately. Cosmo's got a 3 second penalty as for the Red Bull driver, of course. Remember, he was having an absolute field day, wasn't he, earlier on this race? Unfortunately, he's dropped back now. Jim Stroud is 2 seconds in front now, and is very much is loving these wet weather conditions. As we're coming across the lines, right, there's yellow flags. There's Oh no! And as ZGS said, just as I just said about no retirements lately, well, that is not the case anymore. ZGS is out of the race at turn number 5. We're down to 11 cars in this race as well. Oh my goodness gracious me. Golly gosh! It's absolutely been it's a race of attrition here, isn't it? Oh my word! And oh yes, he's very much on the race line as well. As CGS said, out of the race, we're down to 11 cars then, and oh goodness me, that's such a shame there for ZGS, isn't it? And you'd be absolutely devastated. Look at that rain there. Oh my word! Then you can hardly see down into turn 3 at the moment. Virtual safety cars out then. Well, that means that the drivers, it's like everyone's on the same scale electric track. Of course, as David Crofty says that, where they're all on the same scale electric track. They have to go at the same speed then. Drive through penalty for Gaz. Oh, for Kaz, what a shame there. And I think he got a bit too heavy on the throttle, didn't he? And that's such a shame there for Kaz. He is going to have a drive through penalty. He's having a bit of a nightmare in this race now, Kaz is, unfortunately, but he is on the cusp of getting points in this race, and so you got to hang tough, haven't you? You got to hang tough in these races. On board then with you, mad bro. That's 5-10 seconds late. Jim Straff's had an appalling start from the virtual safety car. He's lost almost 2 seconds. What's going on with Jim Straff then? And it's so the gap is done. There's no DRS in these wet weather conditions there, of course, because of safety reasons, as they do not want to speed the cars up, do they, in this torrential conditions. Look at the top 5. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, and we've got Scooby Stew and the second Renault Starbuster coming in the pits, and you mad bro is rolling the dice, is coming in the pits, and look, there's puddles now in the pit entry there. Of course, there is no race cars going through there as much as there is on the race circuit, but I'm thinking that this might be the time for wet tyres, and perhaps as he now comes into pits. So the Alfa Romeo mechanics then are primed and ready to go then. Where are they? There they are. And are they the blue? Yes, they are. They're the heavy treaded wet tyres going on then for the Alfa Romeo car. And now he comes back out. Yellow flags then. So what is going on then? There's been some issues out there. I'm not. Well, they all seem to be in the same position there or thereabouts. But look at how much they're tailing out then. So keep an eye to see what you mad bro does on the wet tyres. Then it is a very difficult conditions now. So look at the off the racing line. And the racing line hasn't got any puddles, so has it? But off the racing line it has. Look at that. It's almost starting to resemble a lake, isn't it? As there is water here, there, and everywhere. So I think it's a better race for the ducks, isn't it, rather than the F1 cars. Look at that, though. I think that we are not far away from perhaps maybe a safety car just to kind of calm this down. Then is the because we have had I don't think we ever had an ALR, but I know in other league races we have had a safety car because the rain's too heavy. I think we are not far away from that now. As at the moment, we're just watching you, mad bro. He is gaining on Vinny. He is on the wet tires. Silent shifted. Is off the circuit. He's off the circuit. I think it might be time for the wet tires now. Surely it's time for the wet tires. Is all the top runners are now struggling as well, aren't they? Who is going to come in the pits? And Jim Straff is staying out. He's staying out. Is anyone else coming in the pits? And Irvine is staying out as well. So is Josie as well. Then. So top 3 are staying out. So everyone is staying out at the moment. So you mad bros, the only driver that is roll the dice and coming to the pit. Starburst is now starting to really put the hammer down on the Renault car, on his teammate as well. Renault are on a very nice 18 points at the moment. They don't want to throw this one away, but of course they've got about 9 laps to go, 8 laps to go for these guys, and Vintage saying that's a good decision for me by bro then to go onto the wet tyres. Vinny coming in the pits as well. Gordon saying only 11 cars left. Yes, it's been absolute anarchy as well. Theo's saying then that this track dry is hard. I don't envy these guys at all. Well, it's okay in the dry. It's one of my favourite tracks for Theo, but it's very hard in the wet then. Vinny coming in the pits on the hard tyres as well. Then I thought the rain eased off there, but it isn't in that shot, is it? My word, there. As we're just watching Cosmo at the moment, then as he's gone, he's become a ghost. Cosmo had said. Hopefully he can get back in the session soon. You mad bros now less than 3 seconds away. Then Starbust is now all over the back of his teammate. Then is there going to be Renault orders as well? Scooby Stew is not a full-time driver, is he? So I'm wondering if he might yield to his teammate then. But of course he would love a seat in ALR, won't he? So of course then is he going to? I don't think he will yield, will he? And we got Jim Straff is now 3 seconds up the road. Then that's a Ferrari who just seen go off slightly in the background. You mad bro is now at less than 1.1 seconds. Look at that. He's gaining on a bulky by almost every stretch, every corner. And look at this. And he is flying at the moment. You mad bro is and look at this. And he's got so much more purchase as well. Is he going to have a lunch then? No, he isn't. Not quite then. And he got about 7, 8 laps to go then. He cannot afford to make any damage. Oh no! As a bulky there. Didn't see him on the outside there. And it looks like you mad bro then. I think that I'm not sure if bulky would have seen him there. He comes in the pits as well. But Oh dear, you mad bro might not be too pleased with that then. He's now come through and up into 7th position. Bulky is in the pits and he's going on the wet tires as well. Look at this, the times. This is the time for wet tires, I feel then. And yes, the time's starting to come down quite considerably. Look at that, you mad bro is gaining on the Starbus quite considerably, isn't he? With 28 out of 35. This is going to be good seat then. Good stuff indeed then. As Scooby Stew for a permanent seat then, as from a vintage as well then, as he's cheering on there, Scooby Stew, who's currently in 5th position there. Good stuff indeed there from the Renault driver. As you mad bro is getting the gap now. Look at that, it's under 8.1 seconds. It's coming down quite quickly now. So look at that, it's 8.2 seconds. Oh, as Scooby Stew there is very much under pressure. There's a Ferrari in the background. I think that's Kaza, who is on the intermediate tyres there. Scooby Stew there, he's done a hop, skip and a jump there over the curbs there, and unfortunately because of that there, he's got a penalty. I think you mad bro, let's take a look to see where he and let's just in terms of the interval, he is at 21 seconds back. Scooby Stew is off the circuit there, and he's gone too wide there, and he's going to come back on the track in front of his teammate, but I think Starbus is already through. He is Scooby Stew there, has been looking a bit wayward in the last couple of laps or so. Look at you mad bro, it's down to 5.3. Look at the gaps, he's pulling out, he's really racing up now, isn't he, with 8 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed then. And look at this, and his Starburst there has stayed out then. Look you mad bro, 4.4 seconds. I keep looking up, the gap is just shrinking at every meter of this circuit there. Incredible stuff indeed then. And the rain is still hammering it down then, is it? The wet tires is the way to go, I feel. And this is going to get very entertaining as well. 7 laps to go then. And so just take a look then. Is it going to be enough times? Look at that, he's down to 19 seconds there as well. Scooby Stew there getting a bit wayward. I think there's going to be a big ass there with just under 7 laps to go for you mad bro to get in the to take the lead perhaps. But never say never in this race. It's been absolutely magnificent, hasn't it? And there is you mad bro in the background. Look at that, he's kicking out the rear end as well. Oh my goodness me, there he is, and flying past us as well. Absolutely magnificent. Somebody back on board now with you mad bro, flicking it into turn 4. Oh, he almost lost it. All his hard work could have been undone there. He wants to push us. I'm sure that he can so he can smell at least a podium, maybe more in this race. Look, the gap is coming down. Oh my word, then this is magnificent. Gap in the front is still 3.5 seconds between Jim Strav and Irvine, and I think that you mad bro wants the rain to keep coming down, doesn't he? He doesn't want any more interruptions. Oh, Scooby Stew is off the circuit there, and I'm getting on the power too much. So you mad bro said thank you very much. Scooby Stew is really struggling on those intermediate tires. Those intermediate tires are very much at their limit then, and it's all about the drivers keeping it on the island there, isn't it? And a lot of I've got to say hats off to all 11 of these drivers there for staying and for keeping themselves on it. Fantastic, really good stuff indeed there for all of these drivers. Magnificent of how all 11 of these have kept it on the island there. I'm not sure if Cosmo's in the race or not, to be honest. So potentially Kaz might get the final point here if he starts to really put the hammer down. And the gap is down to 16 seconds with 6 laps to go in the Grand Prix. This is going to be tight, isn't it? But I think, oh my word, there as a Starbus then is. I think the Starbus there might be seeing an Alfa Romeo go by now. And look at that then. That just shows basically in a very extreme condition there of the wet tires. So the way to go is down to 15.6 seconds now as well on board with Starburst, and as he's starting to drop back, Scooby Stew has come in the pits and he's gone onto the wet tires. He's going to get out in front of Bulky put on the wet tires a couple of laps ago, and Bulky could potentially get into some major points here. He's now into 7th position. Bulky, it's good stuff. Scooby Stew dropping down to 8th position, but he's on the wet tires along with Widdy, and that is definitely the right tire to be on now. 2 seconds up the road is Silent shifting, and the racing point of Joseph then. So Silent, you mad bro, is now looking at a podium here then, with he's back where he belongs then. Back where he belongs. He's back where he came in the pits then for you mad bro, when he came in the pits for those wet tires. The gap is down to 13 seconds now. He is taking hand over fist time now out of the drivers. Oh, Silent Shifter's gone wide then. Silent Shifter's gone wide, and now you mad bro, look at that, he just got so much more traction in these appalling conditions there. He is up into 4th position. This is a magnificent performance for you mad bro. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. He is standing up in the seat of this Formula 1 car, and we have found our reigning champion haven't we? He's all over the back of that racing point now with Jose. I know Jose is, look at that, look how much time he is struggling, look at how much he's struggling there. And you mad bro is just trying to wait for him to get on the power. He's already on the power, he's alongside, he is up into third position now, you mad bro, as he has done it. And look at this, that is Jose is going, you see that you mad bro would just extend, it would just go off now into the distance, would he? Because he would just have so much more grip. Look at that then, look at that, that's extreme, isn't it, to say least. That he's up in the third, 12.7 seconds back, he's now got a bit of clear air, you mad bro has said. Bulky Volcano then is a bit too far back, I have to say. I think then to maybe challenge a Starburst then, but yes, all the wet runners are the preferred target, keeping an eye on that gap then is at the moment. So it's 12 seconds then. This has been an absolutely incredible Grand Prix as well. Brilliant stuff indeed, amazing stuff. And back on board then with you, mad bro. It's 11 seconds now. The gap is 11 seconds then. He needs to take out. Hang on, let me get my calculator out. No, better not. Let's just say he needs to go quicker. I think with 11 seconds in 4 laps, then he needs to do that. Is it what he needs to do? The Dutch Charles down to 10 seconds. It's down to 10 seconds. Second position is surely there, but it's the lead there for you, mad bro. This is a magnificent performance, isn't it? What a drive there from you, mad bro. An absolute incredible decision. Look at how much time he's gained up. 5 seconds he's gained on that lap then. So I would say that perhaps the race seat might be there, and Jim Straub's had a magnificent performance. He has indeed, hasn't he? And now on board. Is it bright enough then, or is it me then? But I think that it's still very wet out there indeed, isn't it? As he comes through the final turn, it's down to 9 seconds now. Down to 9 seconds on lap 32 then. It is coming down. It's dropping like a stone here at the moment, isn't it? I wonder if Jim Straub knows about you, mad bro. Surely he does now. Surely he has definitely got him on his mind then. This is fantastic stuff indeed then. And on board once again then with you, mad bro. 8.5 seconds, 8.4 seconds. It is coming down, isn't it? And Irvine there is now just a couple of seconds. There is Irvine. There is you, mad bro. Oh my goodness, we got a snap over there. He's pushing that car to the limits and beyond. Magnificent performance indeed then. And look, Jim Straub is only 7 seconds on the road. He's in turn 5 whilst you mad bro see coming through turn 4. Oh my word then. Lap 32, we got 32, we got 33, we got 34 and 35. How quickly can he get past Irvine then? Look at this as they do a hop, skip and a jump then over the chicane as well. Look at that, and he's running into the rear wing of Irvine then. I am sweating. What about Jim Straub? What about you, mad bro? And I think that, look at this, is he going to go for it? He's on the outside. He's on the outside. He's on the outside. He is through. He is through, or is he? Irvine's coming back at him, and he's back through it. But look at this, and Irvine is not giving up this position, but he's on the inside, you mad bro. He's going for it on the inside. Irvine now is not giving up this position, but he might have to yield. He does yield. The gap is 6.7 seconds on lap 32 out of 5. Oh, he's gone wide. He's gone wide then. Oh my goodness me. That could be crucial in this Grand Prix. I got a breather, and we got now it's down to 5.8 seconds. Then that 3-second penalty is going to be crucial, I think, in this Grand Prix. Whatever happens now, this is a Max Verstappen-esque kind of drive, isn't it? Goodness me, absolutely fantastic stuff. Indeed, Bulky's got the gap down to 34 seconds now between himself and the race leader. He is within. Oh goodness me, he's very close. He's going to be close to Starburst, I think, in the end as well. So Bulky could very much get up into 6th position here. Good stuff indeed. Then 4.8 seconds and just focusing back on the race as well. You mad bro needs to overtake Jim Straub, and he also look at this, a silent shifter is trying to go down, so he's fighting, he's through, he's past Jose, or is he? Oh my word, then they're side by side, it's free, I think there's 3 abreast, it's not quite, and Jose is back on the inside, he's back in the 4th position, Silent's gone wide then, and where is Starburst? He's on the outside, Starburst, listen, he's got more traction, oh there's contact then, there and banging wheels there, 3.4 seconds of gap is in the front then, this is the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position, and oh my word, then absolutely magnificent. I've got to say, Kaz is doing a good job on the intermediate tyres there. Unfortunately for Kaz, he came in the pits there a couple of laps too soon, didn't he? Gap of the front down to 2.7 seconds, 2.6 seconds as well. Look at that, it's coming down it's coming down every turn, every decision on the steering wheel, every decision on the brake and acceleration pedal as well. Absolutely mega stuff, and look at this, this is an incredible battle for the 4th, 5th and 6th positions there. Josie's doing a great job, silent shifted, and Starburst having a good old battle as well, and Starburst Starburst, remember, finished second. He's a very good racer, isn't he, Starburst, is, judging from his first 2 races then as well. Is it me or is the rain eased off, Ben? I think that the rain has eased off, Ben, but I think the wet tires, are they, this is where the conditions might change here, but I think the wet tires might still be the way to go. But the rain, if it's eased off, Ben, this might start to lead into the advance to Jim Straff. We'll take a look, though, and see what is the case. Yeah, it's not as heavy as it once was, and on lap 34 out of 35, is that going to be a crucial part of this Grand Prix? The gap is 8/10 of a second, and there he is, and he's right underneath the gearbox now with Jim Straff. There is Jim Straff. He's on a magnificent race there, but so is you mad bro as well. Oh, goodness me. Absolutely great stuff indeed, hasn't it, from Jim Straff today. Brilliant stuff indeed. Bulky Volcano is now 9 seconds away from Starburst then. And look at this, and his buzz at you man bro is just so quick, so much quicker than. And remember, he has got a lap. He's got a lap to find 3 seconds as well. So he then just catch in. He's got to get past, and then he's got to extend the gap by 3 seconds as well. And look, as Cosmo is out of the Grand Prix, isn't he? And I think that at the moment now, he's might get a point now. So he might get a point still then, depending on what issues Cosmo's had then. Look at this, and I think you man bro, he needs to get by, doesn't he? I feel that the sooner the better, because Jim Straff, of course, doesn't have a penalty, but you man bro cannot rush it, and he does have the high ground, doesn't he? As yes, as Gordo said there, it's all or nothing, and out of the final turn then, and you man bro then is there he is, and he's going now, he's going for it, and he needs a qualifying lap now, doesn't he? Look at how much the rain has decreased here, and we got a side-by-side action going down. It's turn 1. Cosmo is the lap caught, and you man bro is taking the lead. Then has he got the purchase? He has got the purchase. He takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's got 1 lap. He has got 1 lap then to gain 3 seconds out. Then this is going to be like the Japanese Grand Prix back in '94. Then absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. Then from you man bro. Then so now this is the time. Now this is about time. Now this is what we need to keep an eye on. The top left-hand corner, and there is the time. Then 8/10 of a second. The gap is now. You man bro's really got to put the hammer down. It's up to 1 second after the first split time, and needs to now do that then for the next 2 splits, doesn't he? If he wants to win this Grand Prix, which so the pressure is very much on you, man. Let's go on board with him now. And look at that then. He has been magnificent. He's done half of the job then. He's done half of the job. The other half he needs to go then with half the circuit to go. I cannot call this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. The vintage, I cannot look. No way he's going to get it there from Jamie as well. Oh, he's a big slide then. He's up to 2 seconds. It's up to 2 seconds in the second split as well. Oh my goodness me. It is so close there. Absolutely magnificent stuff. He does 3-second penalty a couple of laps ago. May have cost you man bro from an absolutely amazing Grand Prix win then. Out of turn 13 as well. Coming into a 14 and he's 8/10 of a second away, 7/10 of a second away, 5/10 of a second away, 4/10 of a second away, 4/10 of a second away. And look at this, it's going to be half a second, 4/10 of a second away. You man bro wins, but I think it's Jim Straff who wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed then. Irvine in 3rd position there. You mad bro, so unlucky there. What an incredible end there. Absolutely incredible, isn't it? Irvine in 3rd position. Joel C in 4th position there. Good drive from Joel C. Silent Shifting, a great drive from Silent Shifting. Well, he's down to 5th, and Starbust moving up into 5th position there. Bulky Volcano in 7th position there. Scooby Stew in 8th position. And Vinny in 9th. And Cosmo, I think, is not in the Grand Prix. I think he's out of the race there, but he will get 10th position, and Kaz in 11th position as well. But it's Jim Straff who wins the Grand Prix here in Hungary then. And I think the rain did ease off towards the end. He also gets driver of the day as well. And I think that's 2 for 2, isn't it, for Jim Straff? It is indeed that. I've got to say, he's an absolute, he's loving those driver of the days, isn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed that. Absolutely brilliant stuff. And Jim Straff is on top of the world. He is also, so he's won 1 Grand Prix and been on the podium twice. Fantastic stuff there from Jim Straff. Really good stuff indeed that. Second position is you mad bro. What a decision to go on those wet tires. He was less than 4/10 of a second away from stealing that Grand Prix win from Jim Straff. But you mad bro in 2nd position there. We have found our Rainmaster, haven't we? What an incredible driver. Verstappen-esque there from you mad bro. And in the 3rd position there was Irvine as well. So Jim Straff from 20th on the grid there to win the race, and that is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? From the back of the grid to win the race, magnificent. Second position was Umad in the end, and he also got a fast lap as well. Irvine in third position there. Jose from 17th to 4th, magnificent race as well. Starbust in 5th position. 6th position, Silent Shifting, good drive from Silent Shifting, Starbust and Jose. Great stuff indeed then. Bulky in 7th position there. First points for Bulky. 8th position was Winnie. 9th is Scooby Stew. Cosmo in 10th position there, and Kaz there, unfortunately just outside the points of 11th position there. A couple of pit stops too many there for Kaz, unfortunately got onto the wet tyres and it didn't pay off, did it? Retirements from the Hungarian Grand Prix: ZGS said, Iron Knight, Folksy, Styles, Hammer Time, Codfish, Brooksy, Benson and Gaz, unfortunately all retired from this epic Hungarian Grand Prix. Absolutely great stuff indeed. Then, as Kaz said, there was a family member in the pits I have not seen in a while. Then, good stuff indeed there for Kaz. I love that. I was last by 30 seconds when the rain came. Recovered to 7th. Can I get some credit, please? Yes, indeed, Volky. A fantastic performance there. Indeed, my good man. Then, and we've also got Gordo saying, why is it 11 seconds gap? I'm curious. I think it's because I think that you mad bro dropped out of the session, didn't he, momentarily? I think, which is the reason why. Then. And ALR Vintage saying, well done, Cobalt. Yeah, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed then. And I'm just having a rest then. I want to breathe there before the drivers come into the commentary box there, so we can have a quick interview of them. I'm sure that Jim Straff is going to be absolutely delighted with that performance there. Really good stuff indeed there, from 20th on the grid to win the Grand Prix as well. Absolutely magnificent stuff there from Jim Straff. Really good stuff indeed then. You mad bro, Verstappen-esque kind of drive in second position there. What a performance there from you mad bro. Absolutely love that performance, and I got to say, he really made a lot of drivers sit up and take notes today. And in third position there was I think it was Irvine, wasn't it? It was indeed Irvine, and he was in the racing point as well. And so Irvine finished third in the end today as well. So I think those top three drivers definitely deserve a round of applause indeed. Then. As I'm just waiting to see if any drivers do come into the commentary box, and then we can get some interviews on the go. And then what I'm going to do is probably get some shut eye, I think, because it's been 4 very good days of ALR, hasn't it? Magnificent performances indeed then from all four leagues. I've really enjoyed every single one of them. Magnificent stuff indeed. I'm just making sure no one else is coming to the party yet, because that would have been awkward, wouldn't it? Whilst I'm absolutely chatting away and the drivers are waiting for me to shut up after I've been talking for almost 2 hours now, and oh goodness me, I think that you guys have had enough of me. I've had enough of myself as well. But before we go, we do have to have an interview, but before we do so, let's also quickly preview the next Grand Prix. Shall we? We're going to the Belgium Grand Prix, of course. So, of course, in gold and silver, that will be round 14 of the championship. Yes, it will be round 14 of the World Championship for gold and silver. It's very Emerson is still leading away at the moment, isn't he? In gold, fantastic performance. Can anyone stop him there? I think Cardboy's moved up to second now, hasn't he? With some very strong performances as well. With Nosey dropping down to third then, and in silver, Silver Gamer won his first Grand Prix in since the Dutch Grand Prix at round 5. Then it is, and it's very much starting to is the pendulum swinging back to Gamer. Then we'll find out Troy still has a massive lead, doesn't he? And of course in bronze last night, it was a very good race, wasn't it? Really, absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. And of course tonight then we had an epic Grand Prix indeed. And Irvine has joined me in the gantry now. Irvine, I've had a brilliant day today. But how I think that the rain came down then. It came down a lot earlier than what I thought it would. I thought it was going to be towards the end then. Was the rain a bit early for you?
Telemetry, said it was coming in 45 minutes into the race, and it didn't even come. It came before halfway through, so it shocked me a bit. I wish it didn't come because I just couldn't get any grip at all in the wet.
It did look like you struggled a bit in the wet then, but in the dry it looks like it was quite comfortable. Do you struggle in the wet then, or was it just today? Did you just had a bit of a setup that wasn't agreeing with the track?
Well, I'm not a fan of the Hungaro ring anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's dry or wet. I'm surprised that I put it on second, to be honest.
Oh, that's quite a ominous. That's quite an ominous sentence going into the rest of the season. And oh goodness me! And I think that in your first podium today, in your first Grand Prix as well, what is your aims then for the remainder of the season? And it's a short season. This one is only 11 rounds. Then going up to Belgium next week. Then how are you feeling then for the remainder of the season? What's your aims?
Just to finish as high as possible, really, and see where I finish.
Good stuff indeed. Then very much taking it race by race as well. Then thank you today, Irvine. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then and of course everyone. I think everyone likes you as well because I think they like the name Irvine. Brilliant stuff, then. Well done, pal. Absolutely magnificent. And we're going to the Belgian Grand Prix next week. So, of course, I reckon it's the best racetrack in the world, isn't it? I think that I've been on for too long now, as I'm probably getting a stop sign from my admin co-man. Right, I'll leave it there. Right, see you in a week's time as we're back in action for Sunday night. It is gold from the Belgian Grand Prix. Goodbye.